Well, hello. I don't know where Mars is. She should be here soon, if I remember correctly. Hold on, my headphones were not on the mode I wanted. There we go. Now we feel better. What's a lurk? A lurk is where basically you're saying that you're here, you're probably listening, but you're not in chat, really. It's more just a way to say, like, oh, we're here. Help wanted? Yeah, well, it's crossed out because the position is filled with Mars. Hello, Mason. And Roval lurking. There she is.
Ah! My mom stopped me for story time as I was coming up the stairs.
Ah.
I was like, I gotta go.
You were late. How dare you?
I know.
I'll dock your pay.
No! Don't dock my pay, I beg. Oof, that is a bright
Yay,
screen. Why is that
Mason!
so bright?
That's great, Mason. I will post the blending layer things then.
Oh,
It
very
is
nice,
now,
Mason.
Grenade. It is now. And what did I draw today? Today, I learned to reward myself for editing the YouTube videos because
Ooh.
I absolutely have gotten into a slump of really despising having to do like the closed captioning parts of it, the captioning of it. It's just very bleh, you know. And
Well, Grenade Ori is telling us how she feels. She thinks captions are
exactly.
ugh.
Yeah, they're just boring, you know. There's not a lot of pizzazz with it. And so to sort of motivate myself, I basically, like, every minute of captioning I did, so minute in like the video, I gave myself 5 minutes of drawing this boy. And I usually did it in increments of 2, so I'd do like 2 minutes of captioning and then 10 minutes of drawing. And you know what? It worked really well, and it didn't feel as soul-sucking as normal. And I got to draw this guy. This guy is a cloaked Entoma from Dichotomy Games. Dichotomy Games, they do 5e, D&D 5e homebrew, and they have this race called Entomas, and they're basically like an insectoid race. Thank you, Grenade. I love him too. Well, you know what?
The colors are so good.
This did not take me only 20 minutes, safe. This would have taken me, if a video is like 11 minutes, so we'll round to 12. So 12 times 5 is an hour, and then I gave myself an extra 15, so we'll say overall probably an hour and a half. Which really isn't that long when you think about it, but yeah, pretty good. He's sketchy. Getting your soul sucked a bit brings out the good in you? Yeah, maybe.
Because at that point, she's just like, oh, please, I'd rather do anything else.
That's what I've been doing, Mason. But I will say, at this point, it just has gotten really dragging, where I'm actually probably wasting more time doing it than I really should be having to take to do it, just because I'm like blowing so much.
Too many Instagram breaks.
Literally though, like scrolling and shit, just like on the, because I don't want to be doing it, right? And just like procrastinating. Versus it's like, Ori, if I get 2 minutes done, I get to draw for 10 minutes. And then it's like, no, timer's up. All right, I'll go back. But then I get to draw for 10 more minutes. And so it's nice. Oh, yeah, this
the
boy.
2 for 10
And you know what?
strategy.
We'll go through all the boys again. They're not all boys, but we'll go through all of them again because I like them. Is it here? It is here.
Oh no, not the black pen!
Oof, that's rough. What? We have
everyone
this one,
having
this
a
one.
good day. Ooh, let's see.
Okay, so this is the 5th Entoma I've drawn. So we have this one was the first one. And then we had this one. This one. I do really like this one. The wings came out very nice. This
Oh,
one
those
still
are
seems to be
so
everybody's
pretty.
favorite. He gives Hopper vibes from Bug's Life.
He really does. It's sexy Hopper.
It is sexy Hopper. And then lastly, this guy. Oh, they all have names now. I named them all.
What are their names?
This is Melly Ventress, but her nickname is Angel. Then we have... This is Eve Nata, but her nickname's Corona. Because, like, I named them how I would name them, and then I named them how, like, Entomas should be named. So the nickname is the Entoma name. And then we have Solina Soraya, or Crystal. Then we have Maris Corey, or Magic. And then lastly, our newest boy is Perko Ebon, or Hyper.
I gotta say, Hyper really fits.
Yeah. You said it like Hyper already wants to say. You're right, Mason. Called me out. Don't. To
be fair, you know, if Lion King is credited with turning people into furries, what would Bug's Life be credited for doing?
Also, furries. They're all the same.
Insects are
Anthro.
furries?
It's all anthro, in my opinion. Yeah.
There's no like subgroup, subgenre.
I don't know. Like people call like scalies, but I don't really count it. You're just a furry. You know, like I don't know.
Scalies, crawlies.
Yeah. Eh.
It is a 10 out of 10. Congrats, Ori.
Why, thank you. But today, we're just chilling as guys.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is shaking around so much. Jesus, please. This is the last entry, the last page of entry 5, and the last upload of Outcast before our very first hiatus.
On hiatus.
I like how I'm touting it so much, like it's such a cool thing to go on hiatus.
I was about to say, why isn't Aster colored in? I know I colored.
No, I hid him.
Okay.
Because I'm working on Sinnet. So this is the step where I go in and I fix mistakes, like I didn't draw freaking lines on Aster's hand, and so I'm like, why does this look weird? And it's like, because Mars colored it without lines, because I didn't draw lines. So she tried her best.
See,
And
guys,
I don't
sometimes
falter.
the mistakes aren't my fault.
Oh no, there is always a mix of whose fault it is.
Hotson is a boy.
Yes. Hotson is a boy. He's the one that gets mixed up the most, which is funny because Sinnet is
It's
the
hilarious.
NB one.
Sinnet is the NB.
I will say, I think early Hotson did look a lot more feminine. I would say that current
was
Hotson...
definitely a soft boy.
I would say
He
current
was
Hotson, while still a soft boy and definitely a twink, I don't find he's as, like, mistaken as a girl as I feel like he once was. But yeah, I constantly say that the first thing that was ever said to me by my mother when I showed her my very first Hotson design was, "Oh, she's so nice!"
It's like, thanks. It's a
like,
dude.
It's a guy!
Fashion of the day, Safe.
Yeah.
The fashion of this era.
When we get to port, we'll definitely see a little more.
I will say, callers typically like having their legs exposed because we've seen the legs on
Everybody else.
Milano and Aster
Nobody else wears shoes.
and Sinnet.
Mm-hmm.
They've got those high pants, so that's.
I'm happy to
typically
hear
what
your sister's
callers
reading the
like
comic,
to
though.
wear. I am so proud of this entry. I thought I hit my groove with this one because I was just like zooming through it.
Nice.
It's like, I gotta get this done. The deadline.
Oh, yes, your Destiny videos, Grenade. Yeah, Mars had a very strict deadline.
I had an incredibly strict deadline. Sunday or else.
Well, there you go, Grenade. That's controversy is the word of the day.
It really is.
Who are we keeping
I
as a
was
Force
laughing
Ghost?
so damn hard when I saw the short for Ben and Regina. Like, for some reason, that's our most engaged short. I'm just like, what the hell? This is the one that gains the most traction?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, controversy sells, I guess.
Controversy really
It's more just like
sell.
the one person who was definitely being sus on main, definitely allowed, like, they got ratioed real hard. And what that allowed for is us to get a lot of engagement from people dunking on him.
Yes. You know, all engagement is good engagement.
Hey, got that random short. You know, now I will say, you guys being like, oh, 10,000. Thankfully, we have hit 10,000 before on that YouTube channel. And one of them was with the animated one. So.
Yes! Which means they're worth the effort. Woohoo!
I think they have been worth it. One, because I actually, like, incredibly enjoy making them. I think they're really funny. And if I don't, like, feel like making one, I do, like, stop. I'm like, no, we're done. This has to be enjoyable for me, too. Right?
Oh, definitely.
And so I do have fun with them. But also, I feel like it makes us stand out from other Ace Attorney Let's Players. And Let's Players in general. You know? You gotta find your niche. You gotta find what makes y'all different and special. And I think adding the little animations, is really helpful, because I know there's been like lawyer plays Ace Attorney, so you know, while it's fun having Dylan there, it's definitely not like a new thing, you know, and otherwise there's not anything specific, so to have that little oomph is always nice. Always improving. Hotson looks like a Chinese chief here.
Has to deal with his lawyer.
I don't know what Hotson we're talking about. There's no Hotson here.
In the Discord, perhaps?
I don't know.
Nope, I don't see an update. I am in the right server.
Now has to deal with his lawyer? Goodness, Grenade.
Oh my. Best of luck. Hope they survive.
Sounds like it should be fine.
In theory.
A legal theory. Thanks for
lawyering.
This red-haired guy is not Hotson. This one's Sinnit. Sinnit is non-binary.
Yeah.
But AMAB.
Sinnit is the doctor of the group. The pharmacist, if you will.
It's okay, Mason. Aster, yeah. I realized looked like a Force Ghost without the color. They're both Force Ghosts.
I have to give him... So when I color the flats Mason, I always give them a base layer, so it's easy for me to distinguish what's a line and what's not. It also helps me tell what's fully colored and what isn't.
Especially when there's whites.
With Aster and Sinnit, there's lots of light colors, there's lots of whites, there's lots of grays, and that can be super hard to see on a white background if it's fully colored in. Like, how could you see if white on white is fully colored in?
You can't.
So
at all.
You can, exactly. So having that base color definitely helps me. No one dies in our series. Nope, we can't do that. We don't have the heart for it.
Yeah.
They can be horribly emotionally scarred and injured and maimed. And I definitely enjoy doing that to characters, but no one will die. I can guarantee that right out the gate. Close calls, perhaps. Or am I lying to you all, luring you into a false sense of security?
Yeah. Mars said they can't die, so this is fine. They die.
It's all part of my master plan. Oh, that's the color of the spots down there. Okay.
Yes. I had to look at the reference, but I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
I know on the top of the dorsal
Yeah,
he
they're
does
dark.
have 2 black
Yeah,
spots,
but in the middle they're light.
not in the middle.
Yeah,
They're
so
white.
I had to check though.
They're
Don't
cream.
fault yourself. You know, I was like,
Yeah, see, I don't have to. So guys, this is really nice because this was the last entry I had to flat. I can watch the stream tonight, so I can learn from my mistakes. So I can see Aster's hair is a little bit more curly with those stripies.
So the big
extends
thing
past the hair flick.
The big thing with Aster is the hair. So this is where his hair is parted here, right? So all of the stripes should tend towards his part.
To the top, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the big thing about that. Self-backseat mode. Yeah.
This is like a seminar class, Grenade. This is how I learn.
It is the best way because
I am very proud of what I've done.
and Mars has improved greatly from starting.
Ori complimented the eyes one time. I was like, woohoo!
So I do always go in and fix, mostly because I'm anal and a perfectionist, and so if I notice it, I will fix it, because usually it's not that, you know, it's not big of a deal or anything. I do clean it up a little bit if I see fit.
And it's little freckles.
Yeah, I add the freckles
details.
just because it's easier. But then it also allows me to take a closer look at sort of how I see it all. Okay, now why?
Okay, looking at it, I think the back of Ferrex's hair should not have the dual tone.
Yes, that is correct.
So, yeah, because if his head is down. Okay, so
that's the top of his head.
That was rushing Mars.
And that is fine.
That was panicked Mars at work, because now I see it, I'm like, oh, that's not right, huh?
But yeah, so I do also know Mars was on a very tight deadline for this, the tightest I've ever given her.
Yes.
And
well, actually, no. I think
the last one was
10.
Yeah, entry 10 was rough
because I had been procrastinating that one, and it also took the most. I did 4 group shots back to back in a single day. I think it took me until 2 a.m. in the morning to get it done. No. When did I submit them? I don't remember. But it definitely took me a long time, and I was literally coloring.
It was
all
right
day.
on time, though, so.
It was on time. Well, sadly, Mason, the technology I don't think exists for robot hands in the Outcast world.
I'm sorry about his hands, Mason.
Rudimentary. So I don't see that kind of prosthetic happening.
Not everyone turns into a beast hybrid. That's more like they're considered a species. They're not really a species. They're technically more of a race because you can have viable offspring between humans and collars, but they're denoted as a species.
That's how we ended up with these guys.
It's a whole thing. But so nobody turns into them randomly. You're born either being one or you're
born
not.
Being a collar.
You're born
or
with the features
human.
or not. Yep.
Some look more collar-like than others. Like Feryx has the nose, the ears, the eyes, whereas Sinnet probably has the most human-looking face out of all of them. You know, he has a human nose. Does he? No,
yeah,
he does. He has a human nose. I'm right.
Sinnet has a human nose. Everybody but Feryx has a human nose.
Yeah.
The collar nose is like the least common trait. But Mason, when they're like this, they don't look like bugs, right? It's only how I've shaded them in the past, right? I think that's what we confirmed.
I think they just look like scales to me because I know them to be scales.
Yeah. Well, I know that in the past when I like lazily when I lazily sort of shade them, they do look more like pebble-like rounded and raised, so I can see why Mason has the like, they're bugs. Like, I can get it. They're not as flat. As me being lazy, because Milano has a lot of scales.
That he does. Oh yeah, he's definitely Reptile Grenade.
Tell us, Grenade, yeah.
He's based on the black caiman alligator.
He's a caiman. He's not an alligator. Caimans are caimans. They're all
Caimans are
crocodilians.
See, guys, this is why I did not major in environmentalism. That was Ori's field.
No, Hotsun, if Hotsun's a human, he can't become retroactively furrified.
Yeah.
You're born a human, you stay a human.
Yeah, you're born with the traits.
Alright, Mason. Well, because I want to improve, you know? I like rendering the scales, and I do it better when I have the time.
I gotta say, Ori, I love how you've been doing the scales and the feathers recently. They just feel so solid, so realistic.
Why, thank you.
I look at them and the texture is just on point.
Thank Dungeon Meshi for the feathers, definitely.
Such an improvement.
Dungeon Meshi definitely did the feathers. Oh god, why?
I just saw this. Grenade, you have a cool D&D idea but need advice. Lay it on
hit
us.
Hit us with it.
What you got? What you got?
It's all dangerous lizard to you? Yeah. But that groups in a lot more than just crocodilians, though.
What if dad is a caller and mom is a human? You know, Safe, it can happen in this world.
Oh, it happens very much.
And it does happen.
Then you get certain traits. Usually what it ends up with being... So kind of the very vague strokes, okay? Take this very with a grain of salt as like this is what people observe and not necessarily exactly what genetically is happening, because to get into that, one, is a lot of work, and two, I could go on all night and I have like listened and shit.
Ori has.
But basically, basically, on the very broad strokes, and this is like saying like brown hair is dominant. That's not how it works, right? There's like 8 different genes or something that make your hair your color. So, you know, but we're talking saying like brown hair is dominant, blonde hair is recessive. In those sort of broad strokes, more human traits are dominant and collar traits are recessive, but their collar traits are very interlinked, and thus you can't have wings without having feathers, right? Like there's a lot of linking in it. You won't have extra wings. Your arms are always the wing, you know, so it's like there's a lot more that goes into it, but a human and a collar would have a less collar looking human child, if that makes sense, right? So it's like if their one parent was all the collar features like Ferrex has, and then their other parent was all human features, then they would have like a mix in between where they wouldn't be as collar as the collar parent, but they wouldn't be fully human presenting, basically. I hope that makes sense. But basically, the more human traits you have, the more human likely your child will look. But it's not 100% just how like you can have
collar.
You can just how you can have, you know, 2 brown-haired people and they have blonde or red-haired children, right? It's not like a 1-to-1 thing. Again, there's a lot that goes into genetics, and so
genetics is fascinating. It's so much more complicated than the Punnett square we were all taught.
Well, because you're like, the Punnett square,
there are genes that are linked to each other. There's more.
It's a lot of linking.
Alleles?
Yep,
are they
alleles.
Called alleles? Mm-hmm. Yay! I did remember. There's more alleles than we know. Like, genetics is nuts.
Genetics is nuts. There are certain traits that you do have, like Punnett squares are real, you know, but they're very, very minor characteristics. Like, are your earlobes attached? Do you have hitchhiker's thumb? You know, like these sort of things. Can you roll your tongue? You know, these are very much you have it or you don't, right? They're one or the other. But even when you get into something as seemingly chill as hair color, skin color, eye color, right? The amount of alleles, you know, of specific genes that go into in specific combinations to get... Yeah, you can't escape your genes, but you can't... but you can genes escape. Yes. I love Vsauce, it's great. And it's just so in depth that it's like a whole thing. We're sort of talking about the main 4 different types of genes that can connect. Yeah, so then you have genes that are considered like paired, where they always exist together because the loci, the place where they exist on your chromosome is special. And so they have to exist together, and that
they've made a
affects
happy
things.
little home there and they don't want to leave.
So that affects things, but there's also things that's called codominance, right? So if you have, so a Punnett square is like if you have, look at these boys, they're in a Punnett square. No, if you have,
it does look like a Punnett square.
So I think the main thing is with the flowers. So if you have a red flower and a white flower, and if red is dominant and white is recessive, if you have one dominant and one recessive, you don't get a red flower, you get a pink flower. Because it's special, right? And so that's a sort of a thing like that. Looks like the Brady Bunch,
It
yeah.
does look like the Brady Bunch.
I can see it. Oh, there's a villain. He's a coming very fast.
Oh, he's on his way.
He's very
An
close,
antagonist
actually.
is very much on his way.
He's very close. We had to set up everything. But so, like, that's a whole thing. And then it's like, you know, just the way that, like, being a living creature works means that a lot of genes have to be correct, basically, you know, in a certain way, so that you can just function as a living person, you know. So there's a lot that goes into it. And so to be sort of like, and then the other thing that comes out of it, this is actually a very interesting thing. The other thing that comes out of it is when you look at animals, right? Like actual, you know, like not humans, you look at other animals. They look very similar to you a lot of times, except in things that we've domesticated, right? When you think about a tiger, different species of tigers look slightly different, but within a species of tiger, maybe their stripe pattern is different, but overall, they are orange and black, and they have, you know, all these sort of features and stuff. Versus when you look at humans or animals that we've domesticated, the colors that they're allowed to be very much greater. And now the reason for this is because the effect that the color has on both humans and these domesticated animals is being alive and reproducing is non-existent, right? So the color of my hair doesn't matter for me getting food and hunting and, you know, existing outside, right? The color of my eyes doesn't matter. However, there are differences, like brown hair, brown eyes, you know, are better for being, you know, in places that are sunny, versus blue eyes are more sensitive to the sun, right? So they're usually found in places that are colder. And so that's how you can see people's like heritages. But overall, nowadays it doesn't matter, right? We have sunglasses, we live wherever, we travel, we do all these things. You see it in cats and dogs and cows. When you put cats into the wild, we've researched feral colonies of cats, they tend towards the tawny, orangey brown color that you see in a lot of big cats like lions and tigers, and, you know, this sort of brownish color, because that's what is most advantageous to existing in the wild. But when you live in a house, I like my black cat, I like my white cat, my gray cat, my calico, my tortoiseshell, you know, like all this sort of stuff. That doesn't matter to the cat's survival, and in a lot of cases, sometimes being a cat with a cooler color pattern, a wilder color pattern, is going to get you more food, you know, right? So it's a very, the second we exist in the gene selection process of natural selection, we make wild colors exist. And that's why we have within a species such variety compared to wild animals that usually don't have such wide range in morphs, right? I hope that made sense. That was a long ramble. This is very interesting stuff.
But a very interesting one.
You just have a good, something good happening. Well, there's got to be some sort of, you know, there doesn't have to be an antagonist specifically, but he kind of reinforces the themes already that exist in this in the story.
Ah, glad it made 100%
Yes.
sense, Grenade.
Humans are space orcs is
and if
the
you wanna
fucking
send it in
shit,
the couch,
Grenade.
that's okay.
Yes. Yes, Grenade. I love that so much. I love the Earth is Space Australia. I love humans will bond with any creature ever at all if one of them thinks it's cute, and there's humans that think spiders are cute and reptiles are cute, so like, fuck yeah, you know, like, damn.
Anything and everything.
It's great. All puzzle was about using sliders to connect the genes in a way that would work. Nice, Pastry Puff. That's fun.
Ooh, that sounds like an interesting puzzle.
Evolve to crab meme. When will the comic get rated? I don't know what you mean. Like
Exactly, made
E
and
for
they have
everyone.
Bluey, what's not to love?
Oh my god, okay. This is wild. There's a YouTuber I watch, his name is Vincey, he's Australian, and he like does Reddit readings and stuff, and he's a really wholesome guy, and his community is very wholesome, but he obviously reads like, you know, kinda rough shit, like entitled parents and like Am I the Asshole and all this sort of stuff. But his whole thing is he reads wholesome memes at the end of it and everything, and he's just an all-around fun guy.
Nice.
I literally found out today that he has never fucking seen Bluey. This Australian man from Australia who is the most wholesome guy fucking hasn't seen Bluey. And I'm like, dude, my bro, this is your shit, sir. Like, you would love Bluey, man. Yeah, like T for teen.
Right
E for
up
everyone.
his alley.
Mars, if you had to give a maturity rating to Outcast, I think T for teen would work.
I would go T for teen.
It's definitely not E for everyone.
Considering the topics and elements
has a fair
we're
amount
going
of
to
topics.
introduce later on.
It's definitely going to get a little
give it
more
a T for
gritty,
teen.
but I wouldn't push it towards M for mature ever. It doesn't.
I would not
they
push
don't
it toward mature.
curse
We don't
actually.
draw stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far. PG-13, yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, that's T for teen, isn't it?
So.
13's a teen. It's all grouped in together.
I do know that later down the line, like, we do have something that will need a disclaimer and a trigger warning. That's very far in the future.
But I wouldn't say that would necessarily make it mature overall as a rating.
I don't think it would push it to that category.
Like, I think I could see that in a movie PG-13, you know?
Yeah. I feel like you see it on TV right now.
Yeah. Because it's not explicit, right? It's just, like, implied.
And without getting too much detail, exactly. It's just implied. It's more the suggestion of.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the trick, Pastry Puff. You start out E for everyone, like Steven Universe, and then you hit them with that emotional hammer. And just wreck them. The boys will cry, guaranteed. The boys will cry.
I am excited to draw boys crying.
You
It's
draw
a
really
fun
good sketches of the boys
exercise.
crying. So
Yeah,
I know
I
you're
do.
gonna do me
It's so
proud.
good.
You're gonna
I
do
draw-
these scenes justice. It's gonna be great.
I'm so excited. It'll be great. Yeah, picture. I think it's funny because we do talk about it like gleefully, like you say, because it's like it's exciting to get to explore, right? Like Mars really likes writing for our big, like not our big bad, but like our main antagonist, because it's fun to explore what a piece of shit he is, right? Like like I like drawing for him too because it's like such a different.
He does things that the other characters don't
do.
Like Sinet, okay, he's got an edge to him, like he'll stand up
definitely
for himself.
not safe.
But he's still pretty smiley, still pretty happy. Milano, Ferrex, they're the joking pranksters. Aster is very stone-faced, but with Avrit, we could just do so much with him. Like, he can be an asshole, and that can be really fun to write for.
It's fun to explore. It's fun to, like, think about how he moves, right? I really enjoy drawing all the characters all the time because it's fun to, like, experience how they move, I guess, right? Like, think about how they act, what they
very
do.
Differently from how Aster moves.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. I'm doing stupid stuff.
Oh. Don't erase my line. I worked so hard on that.
It's me being a dumb. I can fix it.
Took me a whole 3 tries to get it straight. 3!
So it is definitely just like a fun sort of change. And that's why I'm glad to do Band-Aid where he's already in it right away, because that was really fun to design how that like interaction goes from Mars's writing. Like, it's just really cool.
Oh, hold on a sec. I gotta mute.
How dare she? I mean, that could definitely happen safe. We definitely explore pasts and
I'm back.
families and stuff. Welcome back. We weren't smack talking you or anything.
Oh, I would never assume such a thing. But yeah, and definitely as a writer, like, I love writing for each and every one of these boys because it's such a different experience writing for each of them. Like, none of them really talk the same way as each other. None of them really, like, they all have different ways of thinking. They all have different ways of portraying themselves. They all have different mannerisms that can be captured in their dialogue as well. So it's a really good exercise in just seeing how you can portray a character through dialogue alone. And I love doing that for Avery because it's basically a question of, okay, how much of a jerk can I make him?
Well, there's also, like, I think what's fun with Everett...
But also, how conniving can I make him? How manipulative can I make him?
That's what's fun with Everett. He's not...
not predictive. That's not the word I'm looking for. He's like that character that's like, you may be 1 step ahead of me, but I'm 2 steps ahead of you. Like, that's the vibe.
Yeah. And what's so fun about that, I think, as well, is he's not your classic average antagonist where he's, like, smacking you around, necessarily, right? Like, that's not his main thing is not beating people up. His main
power
thing
is definitely in the manipulation.
Yeah, and how he talks to you. And I think that's just such an interesting thing to explore, because that does, you know, from on my end of things, really have to be shown through his body language as well, right? How is he doing? In the Band-Aid, it's very specific that he's in Hoatson's space more than Hotson would, like, he's controlling
like
the situation.
He's moving boundaries.
The
and
chair.
You see that in the dialogue and
pushing
the body language.
Exactly.
It's
and
all
so it's really
feeding
fun.
into each other.
Now you see me type beat. Yeah, kind of. Definitely in the, like, he's always 2 steps ahead. If you're getting around him, it's like that's the rarity, and now he's upset.
It's
now
like,
you've ticked him off.
That was luck, and now he's planning
this
your
is
downfall.
not it. And that's what makes it so fun with Milano and this other group of pirates, is sort of the fact that he's top dog aside from Milano, and being how goofy and stuff Milano is, it's very like, why is this guy evading me? I hate it.
How does he keep avoiding me? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I should have caught him ages ago. But Milano still beats him every time.
And I think what's really important, and this was something very important to me, is because that is the dynamic we have, that Milano comes out on top at, you know, at our current point in the story, that I didn't want to make it seem like Everett wasn't a threat, right?
Yeah.
And so it was very important.
That was the problem you can run into where Milano constantly gets away. So we have
There's,
this idea, we have to show both of their strengths.
Exactly. There's
and
a
we
really
have to
good
show
example.
Everett essentially like being on top,
actually
winning.
Being good at what he's
Actually
supposed to be
being
good
the-
at. And not constantly the punching bag. There's a really good example. Warg from the original Star Treks was Warg? I think it was Warg.
Oh, I'd love to check it out, Grenade.
And it was specifically, he's the big, strong guy, right? And if somebody can beat Warg, he's like, that's like a problem for us, right? But he never actually gets to be the big, cool, strong guy. He's just talked up to be that, so that when a monster, you know, or an adversary comes by and fucking knocks down Warg, you're supposed to be like, oh shit, he beat Worf, right? But I can't remember if it's Warg or Worf. I'm gonna end it. It's Worf! Alright. Worf. He's supposed to be the big strong guy that's like, he's the muscle and he's everything.
Interesting idea, Grenade.
But when he never actually gets to be shown being the big strong guy with the muscle that easily takes down all these other characters, it's like, why should I care then that this guy beat him? Right? I never actually get to see it, that he's being actually big, cool, and strong.
Well then, and to pull another Star Wars example, it's kind of like the Stormtrooper problem. Like, they're built up as these huge threats, like they're so dangerous, they're so precise in their accuracy when they're shooting.
Yeah, the precise.
They can't hit anything.
Yeah,
it's like
that
they
gets
were
every
built
time.
up as this great threat. They're the ones who killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Like, they left their corpses on the doorstep, but then they kind of become a joke later.
But then literally the joke is that Stormtrooper aim. Usually it's like, so I'll show the before and after because I have it over.
Okay.
Usually it's like a shape thing, and like
gotcha.
So it's mostly like a pupil shape thing and how you outline it. So
more of a softer diamond than that hard diamond.
Yeah, so it's not a detached diamond. So usually how I draw it, and I do this for Sinnet too, is I draw the line down, and then I like kind of connect it so it's more like a triangle, like a slit.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay.
And then I take the lightest color, and this is way too big. I take the lightest color, and you don't...
I do remember we outlined the...
Yeah, and you don't trace it inside the thing, though, right? You don't fully outline it.
The outside.
It just goes... And so, see how it's like the shadow and the pupil? So that's the difference, see?
Okay. Duly noted for next time. And next time we'll definitely feature Ferrex.
Next time we'll definitely feature Ferrex. Next time we'll be more like the entry from hell, unfortunately.
Oh, Finals and Disease PCM. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds terrible.
That's a bad combination.
Yeah, no, honestly, Grenade. And that's the problem, like, we didn't want to run into with Everett. We didn't want to build him up as this big threat and then ultimately have him be a joke. Because it's like, well, then why should we be afraid of this guy? Why is he even the big bad? Which, spoiler, he's not the big bad. But more on that later.
But yeah, Pastry Puff. And that's great. Same with, like, Godot. Bringing in other prosecutors really does help with that sort of, like... Edgeworth was this great, cool thing.
It keeps it from being too repetitive, but it also really works story-wise in helping Edgeworth become a more complete character and
on
giving
top of
some
that,
more backstory to Von Karma indirectly.
And what they do, I think, as well, is that when we see Edgeworth in the past with Mia, I think they really managed to... It's kind of crazy what happens with Terry Falls, but they do manage to make it both that Mia loses without losing, and that Edgeworth wins without winning. Right. They make it so that we know that Mia has to lose, but they don't want you as the player to lose, right? And they don't want... Edgeworth can't lose, because then that would retroactively take away his perfect record up until he, stands off against Phoenix, which would be bad. So I think that having the trial end with no conclusion is, one, the most elegant solution I think they could have had in the situation that they had to get to, and I think is done fine. It really works. And it allows Edgeworth to still be that, together. Imposing prosecutor, even against Mia, someone that we looked up to. Okay. That looks good.
Ah, lovely. Last but not least, Aster.
Indeed.
Oof. It's like those phantom feeling safe. Like just feeling it every now and then.
I just got my hair cut.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, so actually this weekend we have our engagement photo shoot.
Nice.
And also I proposed to Dylan as well. I gave him a ring Sunday? Yeah, Sunday.
That's awesome.
So now we both have
Ori.
rings. Thank you. And yeah, and then so I had all of like the pampering stuff done. Nails, toenails, hair, everything.
Oh, you gotta. How
to
could
be
you
ready
not?
for the photo shoot.
You gotta send me those pictures when you're done.
Oh yeah. That combined with your demons is the worst thing. Maybe they're tickling your neck. Dylan's doing good. Well, he's happy. He's utilizing his flex time.
Ah. Very nice.
Oh, also, just a side thing, Mars. Usually when I do color and redo the eyes, it's mostly just because it's hard to just fix one thing
Gotcha.
without going over it, right? So, like here with Aster's eyes. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the only thing I had an issue with was the pupil placement. But it's hard to like try and erase the pupil and keep everything else.
Because everything's
it's just
attached.
easier to just sort of
just start from scratch.
Start over.
No,
so
totally
the biggest thing to focus on is I see you kind of take the dot and you just kind of go, you know, like in the middle. Usually that ends up too low. You have to figure out, so the circle of the eye sort of like it comes up here, you know, like this is how. So you would have to go in the middle, which would be more like here. See how that is? So that's honestly the most common mistake you make with the eyes.
I'm gonna
just
use
put
that
the
trick
pupil
from
too
now
low.
on.
Yeah, so it's basically center it on the whole iris, right? Not on the part you can see.
Okay.
With Aster, it's gonna be a lot of this.
Yes. With Aster, it already is a lot of that.
Exactly.
I will say, sometimes I do those right. That one, I think I just had a brain fart.
That, yeah. Some, you like, yeah, like
One
this
day I will
Hotson's
get your
good.
eyes right.
This one's good. You got it here. So.
Well, Hotson has the widest eyes out of the entire cast. If I can't find where his pupils go, then we have a problem.
It's like Hotson, Ferric, Sinnet, Milano, Aster. And Averett's probably before Milano. Oh, I forgot it.
Not in your dreams, Safe. You gotta fight back in your dreams.
That's where you can fight back the most.
Exactly. You can magic up a chainsaw out of nowhere.
Oh, okay, this is a completely side thing. But so now I'm engaged and like literally everybody else is in like my family's getting engaged. And it's like, wait, stop. This is weird. And they're all gonna definitely get married before I am because I'm slow. We ain't rushing
Planning
nothing.
is hard, you guys. Okay.
Planning is hard. I don't want to do it that hard. We're lazy. You have to... Your moon night then, Safe? Is that what you're telling me?
Sure sounds it.
This is why you have nothing to plan for? Why do you have nothing to plan for, PCM? Because of Noof? It's okay. I don't want to plan a wedding. I want a wedding, but I don't want to do the wedding thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I have an idea for a wedding, but I want to click a button
having to make it happen.
and have my Pinterest board come to life. You know what I'm saying?
One day that will be a feature, I guarantee it.
That is the desire.
That's gonna be a thing one day. Planning is hard, PCM.
Planning is so hard.
Planning is very
Some
hard.
people love it. I like thinking about it.
Like
I
the
don't
people
like
who are paid
doing
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
They like doing it.
I like thinking about it. I don't like doing it.
Look at it this way. You can keep an official party planner in business if you get them to do it for you.
This thing is simple, easy to understand. Yeah.
That's always a plus when your characters are easy to understand. It makes it easier to write for them.
Okay. I don't know what that line was.
Sometimes I appreciate that, because sometimes I just want to get through writing the scene. Like, I think I had that a lot when I was doing Tri-Stamp fanfiction. Like, Wolfwood and Bash, I felt like I knew inside and out, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is what they'd say in that scene. This is what they'd say in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
They were very easy to write for. Whereas with Link Click, I am struggling.
Really?
I feel like especially Lu Guang, because
he's just so
he's so reserved, but based on season 2, he's got a lot bottled up.
He's got a lot going on.
You can go so many directions with that. You could have him break down. You could have him try to remain strong. You could have him try to keep up the act. You could have him completely break, or you could have him just slightly allude to it, or you could have him talk about it blatantly, but Xing Shishu understands it as something else. Like, there's so many options.
I'm sorry, Mars. I love every time you try to say his name. Every time, it's my favorite things. You pause, and I'm like, oh, I know what she's trying to say.
I'm trying so hard not to say Sheng. I want to say Sheng so bad. Yeah, no, I'm trying to write Link Click fanfiction, you guys, and Lu Guang. Oh God.
It's seeping
Lu Guang, including his name, eludes me.
How a wedding in Minecraft? Easy, yeah.
Ah, simple. That's still a lot of planning, though. Then you gotta build the church, then you gotta build the trees.
Yeah,
build the rug.
Who did it? Fundy. Fundy already married Dream in Minecraft. I can't top what he did, so not worth.
I mean, we could try to make a Baldur's Gate wedding. I'm pretty sure there's a church in that game, and it's already made.
I feel like every
it might
other
be overflowing with orcs.
And I feel like every other like NPC in the world would be like, "What? You're not marrying me?"
That's a strategy I use too, Pastry Puff. Like, it really helps when I can imagine the characters saying it in their voice. And I'm like, if it checks out, I'm like, okay, we good. We got dialogue. We Gucci.
Gucci.
And Roblox.
God, no, I wouldn't. I won't. I refuse to touch Roblox, like at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a Roblox stan, huh?
That one's like on a principle.
Ooh. I had no idea you felt so strongly about it.
Yeah. It's one of those games where it's like, it tried to be for kids and then it like stopped. You know, like when it first came out, my understanding was it was definitely like very for kids. And now it's like not. And it's just like, I ain't.
Once upon a time.
It also just looks ugly. Like Minecraft has like a style. I don't know what Roblox is like off-brand Lego person. I don't know. It ain't it, Chief.
We know how strongly Ori feels about her art styles.
It's very important to me. A lot of drama over there? Yeah, exactly, Grenade. Exactly.
Oh my.
Just no. We ain't... Roblox should have been Club Penguin.
If only.
Rip Club Penguin, man.
I miss Club Penguin. Those were the good days. That and Pop Tropica. Those were good days.
Yeah.
Fact. Grenade, I can't tell. Do you agree with me or not?
No, agree. Fact. Not cap.
We'll see. If it weren't in cap, then I wouldn't be sure.
I had to reacquaint myself with certain slang, more current slang. I learned slang. Slang I'll never use, basically, because it's just not in a field of usage that I would. But I learned about yacht.
Yacht?
Yeah, I had a vague idea of what it meant, but I actually decided to look it up. Yeah, G-Y-A-T.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it stands for apparently girl, your ass thick. But it's mostly used as like an exclamation. It can be 1 or 2 T's at the end. And it's mostly used as like an exclamation. And I see it as like a pun. Yeah, but I see it as like a pun. Cap is great, but I never had to look up cap. I understand what cap means, you know, right? I don't know where it's from, but like I know that cap is like it's a lie, you know? It's fake. It's not true. But I watched a YouTuber that does like art commentary stuff and just talks about art in the TikTok world. And basically there's this whole drama about this artist who she started revealing her art, you know, like physical canvas art. And she has a very voluptuous backside. And I think that she just is, you know, she exists this way as a person, but everybody on the internet, in seeing her reveal her art and seeing, you know, her bootyliciousness, just started, you know, going fucking internet feral, as people are wont to do. And all the comments that this YouTuber is reading out are just like, girl, show us what you got, and, you know, and like punning yacht all the time. And I'm like, all right, I understand. Thank you. What yacht means, but
special delivery.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got tea from my fiance.
Your fiance, so cute.
But so it was like I was like, okay, I feel like this is also an acronym, but so I looked it up and I just confirmed what it was, and I was correct that it was an acronym. But I think it's funny they use it like a lot for puns, which I think is really funny. But it's definitely not a word I would probably never ever end up using it.
I can't see myself using that ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I just no. I've given up trying to. I will learn about slang, but will I use it? I don't think so. Because if I try, I'm just gonna get made fun of. I'm just gonna get made fun of. That's not happening.
I refuse to not use a word if I like the slang. I don't particularly like yacht, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, I use cap, you know? Cap.
Really?
Cap's good. Yeah.
I've never heard that one from you.
Well, we don't really talk about stuff where I would have to say it very much. But it's like, yeah, no cap. Yeah. There's this guy I've seen, and his whole thing is cap, factor cap. And it's like, if it's a fact, I get slapped, right? So basically, he'll like slap himself in the face if it ends up being real.
Oh my god.
It's just funny. It means that he tries out all those like viral hacks though, you know, so it's like interesting where it's like, you know,
okay.
like, yeah, so it'll be like, you know, like 5-minute crafts shows you how to do something, and he'll like try it, and if it actually is better, you know, or does as advertised, he just like, haha, slap, you know, because it's supposed to be.
The back, you get the slap. 5-min cap indeed.
The artist, safe, the artist on TikTok is not, it's just a woman who wears, you know, either shorts or yoga pants as like just, you know, whatever. And the whole trend was you hold up your art, but you face away from the camera, and then you turn around to reveal your art. And that was like a whole trend. And she just happens to be very gifted in the ass area. And the internet is fucking thirsty as hell. And so it was like this whole thing where they're like, oh, she's thirst trapping. And it's just like, man, can a lady
no, she's showing off her
exist by just having, but then obviously because it got her lots of views and it sold her art, she'll like play into it a little bit. But it's like, you know, she's not aiming it to, her art is not like for children, you know, it's not like.
It's just one of those things the internet saw, took, and frickin' ran with. And that's the funny thing, like,
thirsty.
You have no control over that. You could literally
just like ours.
be showing off something, and if someone goes, oh, I see that, I interpret that, it's like, well, that was not my intention, but now we're here.
Yep. Exactly.
See frickin' tildes for an example.
Not the tilde! I like
Tildes
refuse.
Are sing-songy and teasing. And I still stand by that, damn it.
To me, they denote an up-down waver in pitch. So, ooh, it could be a tilde, okay?
I think that would count.
Well, apparently not.
No, well, Ori, we play by internet rules now, so we gotta learn them internet rules. Such tragedy. We can't have tildes.
The internet bleeped me for you, Safe.
Yes. That it did. Aw, look at poor little Hotson. So conflicted.
Yeah.
What worldview does he believe in now?
This one's gonna be wild when it has all the pieces, because there's like a bunch of blank space here that are gonna be panels that already exist. I just have to do them. So it'll be interesting when those get added.
This is gonna be so cool. I am so excited for this dream sequence. Like, it's brief, but it gets a lot done.
They're all brief, yeah, but they're good. They've been building.
Discovered 4chan. Oh no! Protect Hotson's innocent eye.
No.
Not 4chan. Anything.
You
but
only
4chan.
read the green text from a filtered second source. That's basically how all my TikTok consumption works as well. I don't even try to figure out how TikTok works. I watch people who definitely got their start on TikTok, but they'll also post on YouTube Shorts, because at least I understand how YouTube works, and that I can, like, remember their names on YouTube, and, like, search easy. You know, my feed is there.
It does make it easier.
But yeah. But that was, like, I was never on Vine. I was definitely the YouTube Vine compilation girly, right? Like, I knew Thomas Sanders and ProZD because they got comped into YouTube stuff, right? It's a second. That's what Tumblr was something. It's like, yeah, we don't go on TikTok. We get the TikToks filtered through a second source and then reposted on Tumblr, right? Because then you know that they're gonna be what you're looking for, right? Who knows what freaking is happening with TikTok?
Working on a book report project. Ooh, that's really cool, Pastry Puff.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're having fun with it. Those are the best kind of projects where, like, you actually get to enjoy what you're making, doing, writing. Those are the best kind of projects.
It's great.
We stand.
We'll correct you, get interaction. Yeah, I know. Cinder's whole thing was like, yeah, specifically say something wrong in your video, because everybody correcting you in the thing will boost you in the algorithm. And I refuse to do that because, I mean, one, I don't really care about TikTok anymore. Our Ace Attorney channel got, like, banned on TikTok, and I just haven't cared.
Yeah.
I don't even think we had
that much traction over there anyway.
We did have people, but not for TikTok standards. And if I'm being honest, it was more just like, I'm already making the YouTube shorts, might as well post them over there. And I don't know, a content thing. I don't even know, Pastry Puff. We might have said gun. Who knows? I don't know. TikTok, like, terms and services are kind of bonk sometimes. And they're way more restrictive than YouTube ever is. So I'm just lazy about it. But But I don't even know. We say some random shit on stream sometime, you know, on the shorts that I know is not YouTube, you know, 2OS, but it is like TikTok. They definitely have to like censor a lot more, and I'm just lazy. You know, the point was just kind of like, I'm already making a YouTube short, might as well post it on TikTok. But I mostly care about you guys, literally, you guys who are people who are like, yes, I follow because we think you specifically are funny or like enjoyable to watch, and not just because like we like Ace Attorney, follow fun shorts Ace Attorney person, right? So I like that we grow kind of slow and organically in that sense. It really allows, God, I picked the wrong freaking color. It really allows for us to have a community like this of people who are interacting, coming to our other streams, being here for the joy of us. As you all should be. No.
And we appreciate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because this is fun. I like our little community. What the heck? Ah, okay. One mistake here is you misinterpreted these lines to be his pants. They're just coat wrinkles. They fully cover his body.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was wondering about that.
Get away from my soul color, witch. What?
I literally laid down on my bedroom floor to figure out, like, how would this jacket fall? Well, I guess it's long enough. Maybe those are pants?
Yeah, it falls completely in front of him. So it's like, this is the floor crease right here.
Gravity
right?
has fully taken hold of the coat.
Whole body is like from here up. Yeah.
Okay. That explains a lot.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Why? Why?
Why?
Which one is you? What the hell?
Did I not merge that layer?
No, the order is stupid.
Oh.
It's not a you problem. This is why
I use the select tool to just take me to the layer directly.
Okay, most of the time I'm not stupid about it, okay? Most of the time it works out. This Hotzen's fine.
This was not one of those times.
No. Oh, look at the boy. Did I not reduce the opacity? Again, this is not the right layer.
Did I mess with the opacity?
No, it's me. Well, maybe you did, but it's an easy fix. It doesn't matter. It's more just like, wow, Hotzen, your lines look way darker than they should be.
I thought those lines looked darker.
Yeah, it's just, all lines are on opacity 62.
Oh.
Except
Guys,
the
now you
lash
know one
lines.
of our behind-the-scenes secrets.
Except the lash lines, and specifically the lash lines. Oh, is that what happened? Are your lash lines too dark? No, they're good now. Okay, we're good.
Those look fine. Those look
good.
Typical.
Now they're fixed.
Artist
like dark
body exe
black.
has stopped working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yup.
Your 3D vision broke.
Sometimes you hit midnight brain before midnight. It's crazy.
Sometimes. It's more like, usually what happens is I want to do it my way. And then it's like, no.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Our program is just like, how dare you?
Well, it's just not happening. And then you stop thinking because you're annoyed it didn't work the way you wanted it to.
Yep. So then you just say fuck it and color what you can.
Exactly.
That's my strategy.
It's a fine strategy.
It got this done on time.
It did. I was actually late.
Oh, look at that now.
Hey, that one was hard. The amount of fucking shading. Whew.
It was. No. I'm not going to give you any flack for that. It was hard. There were a lot of group shots. It was exhausting. It was pain. Entry 10 was...
All right.
I think I actually sent it to you, where I said, we conquered the entry from hell.
You did. Yeah. Outcast Fancast. We talked about this before. Which boy is Ryan? Milano?
Definitely Milano.
What was our fan cast again? I think we had it's Jeremy Jordan is Varian and Lucifer, right?
Yes.
So we've had that as Averett, I think. Right? I think that was the...
No, I think we had Zeno Robinson as
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Jeremy Jordan was
Whereas
someone, though.
Jeremy Jordan, I feel, because he had the variant energy, I think that's Sinnott.
Sinnott. Okay. Oh, yeah. Works for me. Who else did we have?
And then... I want to say we picked Max Middleman at one point.
We did.
But I'm not sure for who.
Yeah.
That might have been Milano. That might have been Milano.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he had the Ito vibes.
Mm-hmm. He does have the Ito vibes.
There's an Ito event out right now in Genshin. It's a musical event.
Oh my god.
It's the one where I'm pretty sure when I saw the sneak peek, it was like, oh, this musical event is for Goro. And I'm like, and Ito put it together, huh?
Yeah, you told me about that.
I was like, the ship has sailed.
Another one of the lovely ships.
Landho!
Landho, indeed.
I still have to play the event to confirm, but if it's confirmed... Oh, the fanfiction we'll get from that will be...
I mean, I feel like we're gonna get fanfiction from that stuff either way, but, you know.
We will hella get fanfiction from that.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. Oh.
And then, who did we say would play Hotsun? You know
Did we
what?
say Johnny Young Bosch?
I think we said Johnny Young Bosch. Now I think Johnny Young Bosch might be good for Aster. Okay. I gotta say, after hearing Sayu's performance as... How do I pronounce it, Ori? You know what I want to say.
Chung Zhao
Chung Zhao
Chung Zhao
Chung Zhao
Yeah, Chung Zhao. I literally have like sat in the mirror
and
and
say it in my head. When I'm reading the fanfiction,
I
can say it in my head. But when I try to say it out loud, it falls apart. And I don't know why. But after hearing his performance as that character, I gotta say, he can balance the... He can do the heavier scenes.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, I might pick him.
For Hotsun?
I could see it. I definitely think there might be someone else, but I could also really see it.
I think, I can't remember the name. Laos's VA could be a fun
Why do I
Aster.
feel like this is a trick grenade? Why do I feel like this is one of those elementary school, like, say hi to your knee tricks? I've been scarred, grenade. I'm not going to
fine.
It.
Rewind rounds. I don't think has anything weird.
Nah, I'm hesitant. I'm not taking
said
a
it.
chance.
I did it. Clip it, ship it. I said it.
Safe, I did take a look at your writing. I left the little eye emojis on it. At least the latest one. I don't know if you posted anything since then. It's reading really well. It's a good mystery. You and your friend are doing a really bang-up job there.
Alright. We got this. Woo!
Second to last panel. Actually, no, there's a lot of panels after this.
There's a fair amount of panels.
We wound wound. This is one of those tricky ones, grenade. Let's see. Rewind rounds. Rewind rounds. Yeah.
Rewind rounds. The one that gets it is, he edited it.
He edited it?
Yeah, he edited it. It was edited it. It was edited. I edited it. I edited it. Right? Like, it's weird. Edited it. It's so bad. It's right, but it's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I edited it. It's so weird. I hate it. Oh, we missed a little bit of his sideburn here. And I think that was it. Yeah, I think having the little clippy thing works being the lighter color. I'll probably keep that. Edit. How did Phoenix get clapped? Phoenix is the one pulling Oatson away. It's not Phoenix, though.
It's not Phoenix.
He is blue, so that is kind of funny.
I will say, the hair was throwing me for a minute because we've never seen him from this angle.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, wow, his hair is sharper than I thought it was.
Which is hilarious because this was drawn... Well, I knew who Phoenix Wright was long before I was ever, like, Phoenix Wright stan, you know? So it was like... It's very funny. He has military brat bully hair, and, you know, it was not intended that way in the sense of, like, I looked at references, but it definitely ended up that way because vibes, you know?
Yep.
Okay. Ori and
apparently military brats just have the same key features.
They do, specifically in the hair.
It's crazy. Specifically in the hair, the look, the eyes... All the military brats got it.
Could be a whole ass German suplex, wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, no, I mean, he's throwing Hotzen way.
He's gonna body slam Hotzen next time he sees it.
Elbow! No, we get this one.
Wreck
which
his
is
day.
honestly a lovely vibe.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, Hotzen looks like he's having a good time.
I'm having a good time. I will say this was a great.
I am also having a good time.
Oh. Okay, hold on. We're gonna show off something because I'm really fucking proud of myself. And I'm gonna show you, this is really interesting. So I am not a person that likes to study for art, right? And so I don't sit down and like do, yeah, grenade, yeah. The lovely vibe Hotzen having the word. See, exactly, Pastry Mom, exactly. Oh, look at this amazing vibe. Hotzen sobbing on the fucking ground. No. It's just, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, it's nice to experience sorrow from the sidelines because you can make it, like, work again. You know the happy is at the end, right? Does that make sense? I think it's definitely very much just like I know that one, this is kind of what Hotzen deserves, and two, he gon' come out of it on the good end. I know it ends happy for Hotzen, right? And so having the sad part in the middle is like it's cathartic, right? It's cathartic. I love drawing Hotzen scared. Drawing Hotzen scared is fucking great. I probably draw Hotzen scared a lot more than he should be. But right now he's very scared all the time. It'll be very interesting when I don't get to draw him as scared. But he'll be pretty scared up until the fucking
when
end.
Hotzen actually looks happy for once, God forbid.
He looks happy in that one panel at the end of 10. 9?
He did look pretty happy throughout the Senate hangout. Like, that was probably the happiest he's ever been.
But in the most, I think it's literally the entry that came out yesterday.
Also, yes, I did see the refrigerator door gaming. Safe, sorry.
The entry that
Ori does like terrorizing Hotzen, but so do I.
Hey guys, I'm only drawing what Mars writes. We're just vibing together. Yeah, the last panel of the entry that just came out yesterday, he looks very happy. He has little sparklies and everything. He also looks very angry in some of the Ferrex ones. Yeah, exactly, Pastry Puff. That one, yeah. He's very happy. Come on, this is just such a good look for Hotzen. Look at him. It's just so good. Just
purely and utterly terrified.
Oh. Ori designed him with wide eyes so he can look fucking horrified. But that also means that he can look fucking in awe of shit as well. When he has the big eyes, when he's looking at the Limerana, when he's like looking at the food. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I don't doubt it, Grenade. The internet will internet.
Grenade, the whole joke in the chat is that the one Ferrex yawning is like incredibly, what did he just end up doing? It's like, oh my god.
He yawned!
He's so
no,
pretty.
Actually, pastry puff.
Hold on. Now I gotta show some art. It's old art, but it's funny.
Okay, Ori, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the ugly crier of the Outcast group?
Ferrex.
Oh,
real bad.
I can see it with the scrunched nose and everything. Yeah, he'd be the ugly crier of the
Ferrex
group.
has angry crying and ugly crying. That's it. There's no other option.
2 modes.
Yeah. Are they in Doodles?
Because I gotta say, the pretty cry, very good, but the ugly cry,
it's definitely
fantastic.
Ferrex. I also see Milano is again either angry cry or really, really trying not to cry. Right? Like, that's the other vibes. I think Sinet's pretty average. He can sob. Hosen sobs.
Like Sint would have like a slightly pretty cry.
Aster to me is the one where you would never
perfect,
actually see his face.
No, Aster would have that silent cry. Like the
but very much to like
cry.
look down, look away, like don't look at
down
me.
The cheek.
Yeah, exactly. Don't look at me. You know, that sort of thing.
Hosen would cry watching. Would he? Depends on the movie. I feel
watching
like Hosen
Twilight.
Would be terrified of the last movie. Like he would be so scared. He'd think it's like a horror movie.
God, this art is so old. I'm trying to find this one thing I did. Here it is.
Freaking Twilight. I never.
This is
that series.
very long ago. When is this from?
I fell asleep on movie 1.
Hold on. Wait, when is this from?
Look at this.
This is from 2021. And it's just me making
Look at his hair. It's so different.
It is pretty different, yeah. This is very, very early in the comic. I had just started reading the other comic called Cast Off by the Starfish Face, which is really good. And she has her main character is a crybaby, and my main character is a crybaby. So of course I was gonna draw him crying in the expressions that they had drawn. They're crying.
And they're top tier expressions.
So
I can't wait to put some dialogue to these expressions.
I'm so ready.
If the main Outcast boys had favorite movies, what would they be? Ooh. Why did the movie Mad Max immediately come to mind with Ferrex?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Because he's a chaos gremlin. I feel like he's all about the action movies.
Milano's gives me Marvel's Avengers, the first one.
I could definitely
just
see
the,
that.
the buddy team up,
all about like
all
that
the vibes.
cheering, the team
yeah.
up. He's like, relate to
exactly.
Iron Man. He's leading this group.
yeah. Just the whole like it's real team up vibes, right? Like classic team up vibes.
I feel like Aster would go for some older movies. Not like super old, but I feel like he'd go for stuff like Breakfast Club.
I can
like
see
the
that.
Introspective kind of movies, like the subtle slice of lifey stories that are still kind of deep. I feel like he'd go for those.
My first thing that comes to mind though with Hotsun is a fun sort of like a little circumventy in the. I feel like Road to El Dorado is a vibe.
I could see that.
Right? It's like
about like discovery.
It's about discovery, the whole thing,
I could
and like
see him
finding,
that
but
as a
also
kid and
like
being so wide-eyed and being like, I want to go find a place. I want to claim the research. I want to write a book. I want to find treasures.
But I don't feel he's at the national treasure level, right? Like I don't feel it's like
no,
we're not there.
I feel like Road to El Dorado, definitely. Would he like Sinbad? Because that's kind of an offshoot of that.
I feel like that's more a Milano one as well, though. Sinbad is such my buddies, my crews, you know, like, and everything.
I feel like Milano wouldn't discriminate between animation and live action like he would watch just thing that fell
100%.
into his lap.
100%.
You know, that kind of makes it even funnier that Hotsun would like Road to El Dorado, because then when
I feel like he's kind of ashamed about it a little bit inside, right?
Is this what happened?
He's a little like, oh, you know, like people will think down on me that I like Road to El Dorado, right? Like he would say his like favorite movie is some documentary or something, right? But it's like, no, deep down inside, it's Road to El Dorado, you know?
No, it's like the movie you tell people when they first meet you versus the movie you tell them is your favorite when they really know you.
Exactly.
Would any of our boys be anime fans?
Ferrex 100%.
Ferrex would.
Ferrex, and then, so Ferrex is the one that knows about anime first and, like, has been in it from, like, when it was really hard to be an anime fan in, like, not Japan.
Yes, he was, like,
and
there
then
from day one.
He introduces Milano to it, and it's just the Mars and me dynamic, but with Ferrex and Milano.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no question. And then,
Milano, you gotta watch the show!
Would totally show Aster the cooking ones, and he would definitely enjoy as well. I can see Aster watching like Food Wars, Restaurant, you know, to Another World. Like I could see all of that sort of like Dungeon Meshi 100%.
He would also watch Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah.
He would watch a lot of Studio Ghibli movies too, I think.
Yes, definitely. Sinnett would watch those as well.
Group would love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
because they're about like rediscovering yourself and everything.
But yeah, no, Milano is 100% a fucking shonen fan.
Oh, for sure.
Totally. Ferrex too. That's both like exactly what they want out of life, is shonen anime.
The funny thing is, I feel like none of our boys would watch like the deeper animes. I feel like they'd all watch like the power of friendship anime.
It's 100% the fucking power of friendship animes. Yeah, exactly. And the food animes for Aster 100%. I could see Sinnett watching a lot more slice of life.
Oh my god. Ori, you're gonna kill me.
Uh-oh.
I just thought, like... So, guys, when we watched the end of Link Click, we were literally... This is no exaggeration.
This is not an exaggeration.
On the floor sobbing.
This is a one-for-one description of what happened.
Was over. Ori laid down on the floor, and, like, we were both sobbing. I was sweating from how much I was crying.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
so
Ori,
bad.
can I join you on the floor? And she's like, yeah, get over here. There's a room.
We have hardwood,
and we're
so it was cold. So it was like
it was cold
good.
And we needed it because we were just dying.
And just grounding in general, literally. And it was just, oh my god.
The image I just had of all the Outcast boys sitting on the couch, like one of them screaming, what was that? The other just being like, that destroyed me. Ferrex just laid out on the floor like, what's the point anymore? And then Aster just sitting there being like stone silent, but his eyes are wide like, well, shit.
Yeah. Feeling way too the Lu Guang vibes. Really fucking just kinning with Lu Guang, though. Like 1-to-1. They would also all watch Oron, though, together.
Oh, they would totally. And they'd be saying like, oh, you're totally like Tamaki. Oh, no, you're totally like Kyoya.
They would cosplay as them. I did draw them cosplays as them, but they would cosplay as them 100%.
Milano would be like, hey, Hotsun, you want to be my Haruhi? And Hotsun like, ah! In what way? Would any of them like Promise Neverland? I feel like for Hotsun, like, see, I don't imagine Hotsun watching Scary Things unless Ferrex like persuades him to or forces him to.
No. Hotsun never watches Scary Things except Avrit makes him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Avrit would make
him.
And Avrit would do it like, oh come on, you gotta toughen up. Who cowers at stuff like this? The blood is so fake.
Meanwhile, Hotsun's like having nightmares, not being able to sleep at night.
And Hotsun never slept again.
Exactly, safe. Who's Pretender?
And then Milano calls him up and is just like, hey, Hotsun, you need a fairy tale night? And Hotsun is just like, please!
Get me out of here!
Save me!
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, no, safe. That's not rolling on the ground, just like, because this is what Ori and I were doing. We were
literally face down flat
basically
on the ground.
It was like a full-on plank, just face flat
down,
on the ground,
flat.
face down, starfish
Hardwood.
pose. We were just so sad.
So bad.
But I honestly kind of want to rewatch it.
I couldn't do it.
I screamed. I gotta do it for research
so
now.
Hard.
God, we should have lost our voices by the next day. I am so surprised we didn't.
It was so good though. So much pain, but so good.
Who's pretending to order alcohol but get a virgin mind? Hotsun, Sinnit.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't think Sinnit would pretend, though. Not at this point in his life. Maybe once upon a time.
I mean, they're all kind of comfortable with. This is why it's kind of an odd question. I've never thought about them drinking alcohol.
Yeah, at all, ever. To me, none of them drink.
It's kind of like when. No, like when you say Ori, like, I all imagine them to be Ken dolls, because that's just not a thing in my head.
Yeah, exactly. No, literally identical
like,
to what I thought. I was like, yeah, I
never thought about that.
I don't think about them drinking at all.
But I definitely feel like out of all of them, Hotsun would pretend, because, like, he's trying to fit in. He's trying to, like...
What do you mean they don't drink? They're pirates.
Part of the group.
But see, the difference is that alcohol a lot of time, especially in those scenarios, is like an escape. And while they're escaping in a different way, right? They don't have to drink alcohol not to get sick.
They got Sinnit for that. They got Sinnit and his herbs. They Gucci.
You mean like instead of water, Grenade? Yeah, we're not at it. So the time period that this takes place is technically non-existent, mainly because germ theory and all of that sort of shit and potable water is such a late thing in human history, like a more recent thing than you would be led to believe when you think about it.
It's really crazy.
That I didn't want to have to push it that far. So basically, the level of what we're at here is nearly modern understanding of things, but like if you're bushwhacking, right? Hello. But like you're bushwhacking, right? So it's like bushcraft and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, I know that I have to boil water, right? I understand that there is bad shit in the water and I will get sick if I drink it and stuff. And, you know, do they know the difference between a parasite, a bacteria, a virus? Maybe not, but they all generally work the same, right? We know that you have to cook chicken and, you know, pork to a certain point, right? They understand about infections and washing your hands, but they don't necessarily have, like, I think they'd have the Roman level of plumbing, but not like modern plumbing, right? Because Rome was pretty fucking advanced.
Not modern.
You know, but Rome was pretty fucking advanced with like plumbing and stuff, like sewers and everything. And I think they would have that. We're not throwing our refuse in the street, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
otherwise, port would be really disgusting for Ori to draw.
It's a non-existent time period.
It's non-existent. It's non-defined, but
Grenade,
it's also kind of like that colonial, but not super like.
It's literally the basic idea of low-tech bushcraft or homesteading, right? Yeah. Where you have an understanding of how you have to do things, you have germ theory, you have like all that sort of stuff, but you don't have like access to like the hospital that we have, right? You don't have that level of sort of like specialization, you know. I guess like there's not supermarkets, right? There's not the point of like we've hit the level of not needing to like do your own thing, I guess. Yeah, I know, Grenade. I recall the unfortunate chicken discussion.
Yes. Oh my god, I can't believe my dad said that exact phrase literally like 2 days later.
So funny.
What the hell? That had to be a universe thing. I don't know why, how that happened, but jeez. I literally felt like I was in the Twilight Zone at that moment. I was sort of like, what did you just say?
Yeah. Hold the phone.
Did you fucking say? Make me some raw chicken!
Oh, goodness gracious. Man alive.
What did you say? So Grenade, literally after we talked about
your
whole
raw chicken
thing,
issue.
My dad, 2 days later, so my mom was making lunch, and she was like, what do you guys want for lunch? We have some leftovers. Now, my dad wanted the leftover chicken in the fridge. And he wanted to imply that I don't want any dressing, I don't want it heated up, I just want it cold.
Just give it to
fridge,
me. Yeah, from the container.
Just give me the chicken, I'm hungry. But instead, he said, oh, just give me the raw chicken. I'm sitting on the couch like a foot away from him, and I'm like, what did you say? And he said, I said raw chicken. Wait, why did I say it that way? And I'm like, why did you say it that way? And he turns to me and he goes, I don't know, I've never said that before. Why did I say that? I'm like,
so it wasn't actually raw, Grenade, unlike like, your scenario.
I meant without sauce. I meant without this. I meant without that. And I'm like, okay, the word for that is plain. It's not raw. It's plain. Yeah, no, seriously, what kind of witchcraft was that? Because it was too coincidental. Like, we literally had a whole discussion on stream about the raw chicken, and suddenly here my dad is using it in the same context. I was like, what?
Yeah, and he doesn't watch stream, we know that.
He definitely does not. If he watched the stream, he would have a lot of questions. He would have way too many questions that I don't want to answer.
Oh, we ain't touching on that.
Nope.
Psyops is working. No. Oh, going
definitely
really
research safe. Yeah, I feel like research is your best bet for that.
I don't think there's really much else. You really gotta look into like how people react and, you know, feel about that stuff.
It's a little bit of a psychology study for that
one.
Yeah. What kind of stuff? Well, I mean, they know about the comic, but they don't know everything that goes on with the comic. The same way Ori wouldn't show certain fan arts to her parents, I wouldn't show certain fan fictions to mine.
Exactly.
They are
Grenade!
Those are terrified eyes.
What do you want? None of that looks like he's having a good time, okay? None of that does. I could make it, but it's not that. I nearly said, do we want a comparison? I don't think I want to do that. But that's not what that is. No! Thank you, Pastry Puff! Thank you!
Thank you, Pastry.
Okay. Mars, do I comparison?
You want a comparison?
We can comparison.
Alright, let's comparison. Let's comparison. You guys asked for it. We're comparison. You brought this on yourselves. I hope you know.
No, we don't want comparison.
I don't know, guys. They seem to really want comparison. They keep asking for it.
Cover the bottom half of my... It's not... It's... He's upset. Thank you, Pastry Puff. It's a bad face. Both of those faces are bad. No, we're not giving in. I refuse.
Ori, stay strong.
I'll do it, and you don't get to see. Mars gets to see, because it'll be funny.
Oh, I'm so privileged.
Boring. Yeah, I am boring. You guys are already sussy enough.
She's so boring. We can't give you guys any more ammo. We can't give you any more fuel.
If you want the sus stuff, go on the Ko-fi.
That's where the
I ain't giving it to you for free.
But like we said, they're all Ken dolls, so not that sussy.
No, but it's the level of sussy that they're imagining here, I would say.
I would say so. It's definitely crossing that line.
Go get the money. Jawline, if you buy the fucking Ko-fi, I cannot look at you. You're not allowed. You're banned. No.
Yeah, we don't. So the way Ori's and mine brain works, we're aces. So we don't think about that stuff. We're just like, yes, Ken dolls. They're all Ken dolls. There's no equipment down there.
There's no equipment.
Realistically, there probably is, but we don't think about it, so there is none.
Yes, specifically Jawline Jim is banned from giving me money, yes. Only Jawline Jim. Equipment, yeah, equipment.
Yeah. I mean, that's a word.
That's the word.
That's the word.
It's a good word. It's wrong. No, it's safe. It's only for Jawline Jim. He's not allowed.
Jesus, Charles Christ. I didn't know there was a middle name involved.
It's me, the ghost of Dylan past. Ever hear that when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade? Ever hear that? You've been lied to. You've been lied to this entire time. Because life doesn't give you lemons. Apparently, lemons are not naturally occurring in nature, and we have been lied to every moment of our goddamn lives.
Dylan Grenade's asking for a JoJo pose.
I didn't know! What? You really were gonna hit me with that?
Yeah. Limes, lemons, oranges, grapefruits, they're all the same.
Yada yada does it.
And he did it.
Beautiful.
He's done it.
So kind of you to join us.
So kind of you to join us.
Yes, the man is here. Grenade says perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, I have, Grenade.
I'd say Ori succeeded.
Capable of what?
Ori definitely succeeded.
Atrocities. But yeah.
What the fuck's a Cintron?
Another type of citrus. There's a fucking ton. Kumquats are citrus.
What?
Kumquat.
It's a fruit.
I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
Kumquats are real.
But yeah. I think orange is more the natural state of citrus than anything else. We have Osage orange, hardy orange. Those are natural ones that we haven't bred. But it's like broccoli is not real. Cabbage isn't real.
Thank you. Wait, why is there a couple of panels of Hodson being really afraid and then shitting?
Okay, that's a better option than everybody else is saying. Thank you, Dylan. It's an uncomfortable pose. He looks uncomfortable, right?
Perhaps in a sexual.
No!
You're not making it better.
He's supposed to be scared.
Scared shitless?
Sure, yeah, scared shitless. Yes. It works then. No, we don't want blush. That's what we want to move away.
You also can't see his cheeks in that panel. They realistically can't be blush.
Mankind being like, lemons aren't real. You can't like. And I'm like, wait a minute. Lemons are real, right? And I Google it, and then they're fucking not. They're not real. We made them up in a lab.
Yeah, well, not in a lab.
In a lab.
Not in a lab.
The government made it up.
No, not in a lab.
I don't think that's how that works.
Not in a lab. Like, none of the food we eat is real, Dylan.
I know bananas are different, but I trusted lemons.
You trust potatoes?
Oh,
why did you trust these things?
Trust Brussels sprouts? I told you about this. They're as fake as lemons are.
No.
What do you mean? make? What do you want?
I knew that one.
Literally, nearly everything you eat is not naturally, like 100% naturally occurring.
Wait, I knew that, like...
I think Dylan's worldview has been shattered.
I know, okay, I'm not saying that if we have any hand in them, they don't count. But I just thought you could, like, hundreds of years ago, just, like, find lemons.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
We started with, like...
Definitely no.
A citrus that looks more like an orange.
Is raw chicken naturally occurring? Wait, are chickens occurring? Come on, please. Someone tell me.
Chickens are more naturally occurring than...
Hundreds of years ago, was there
look
still
up
cock?
The jungle fowl, yes.
There was
where
still
chickens
cock
came from.
hundreds of years ago?
Yeah, look up the jungle fowl. They're non-domesticated.
There was
chickens.
foul cock hundreds of years ago in the jungle?
Don't talk about the potato like that. Ireland never had potatoes. We gave Ireland potatoes.
Was there foul
And then we
cock
starved.
in
What the fuck?
jungle?
Leave. Goodbye. All living chickens are raw, Mason, yes. They don't. Cheez-Its don't grow from the ground.
No. If only.
I can't even do what chat has described. I made an attempt, and it just looks dumb. So we're done. No, I won't. It literally looks so stupid. I hated it. I'll give you... We can give you different eyes. Hold on. We'll give you actual good eyes, okay?
Let's see.
Where is... What do I want? Did I rename it? I think I renamed it, and now it's out of order. Okay.
Oh no!
Which are good eyes? Ah, we like... This one's good. Here, you can have that one.
Can't decide if this is gonna make the situation better or worse.
It's not comic art, so you can have the little teaser for the medic stuff. This is a last year one, but it's not a free trial. You got little baby,
Little snippet.
little baby snippet.
Little snippet sneak peek. But yeah, see, those are eyes.
This is a lie.
I promise you, with the rest of the context, they look very horny.
Let me see. Okay, we're good.
I think Ori's searching for more eyes.
I'm trying to find a really good one. But usually the way I draw Hotsun is I was not ready for these feelings, so it's harder.
I mean, Milano's pretty confident. You could do a comparison with those eyes.
I don't know why they're not where I want them to be, please.
They're hiding from you.
Literally.
They don't wish to be
my
found.
locate. Ooh. The okay. That one, but where's the rest of it, please? Where's the folder with it I need?
No! Where did it go?
I'm just making sure you guys ain't actually getting nothing. Where is it? Okay. Got this one. Yes. That one's still
Look at him.
okay.
He's just curled up in a corner all by himself. That's not sexy. That's sad.
Very sad. Sorry. Now I'm looking at things.
Or he's taking a trip down her own memory lane.
Yeah, exactly, memory lane. None of these are like what they want because I don't draw shit like that.
Oh well, sorry to disappoint you guys.
Such is life.
Such is life indeed. It do be that way.
See, there it is. It's just lying to me sometimes. I can't find it right. Honestly, the next group of stuff will probably... Alright, wait. I know where they are.
Oh, you found them?
I think I found the good ones that'll be good.
Le guess.
Okay, it's not Hotsun, but I think it's the good one. This is the last one, and then I have to do stuff.
Get ready for the good one.
Nope, stop. I want that. There you go. You can have that. The fully colored art. Is this a lion to you?
See, that one looks like he's having a decent time.
That one's Sinnit, though. It's not Hotsun. Jim, what are you doing? Okay. Thank you for committing. Jim, I don't think I could look at you if you get the medic one, okay? Please don't do it to me.
I don't know if I could live with the knowledge either.
I couldn't. It'd be so rough for my life.
These are the risks you play with, Ori.
What? These are the risks I do play with. Yes. So we have cowering in a corner. Let's look at that. I like my little eye shakes. They're good.
Top tier. Top tier.
Beautiful. Better than the second one. Those are more recent. I will say, what's it called? Kabedon, right? That's the wall thing. I have like a whole set of those coming for Medic. So. But honestly, I draw Hotsun scared all the time. I do not have a timer grenade. Mostly because I totally am not just looking at the art when we do stream. Because y'all distract me. Like going down this frickin' rabbit hole. But yeah. All of the like, all of the medic stuff is like not... It's not explicit. So I don't draw like those kind of faces really. Basically all of Hotsun faces in them are like, shit! I have feelings here that I did not expect.
And I don't want feelings. Ew, gross.
We'll plug it because y'all are asking.
I don't think we've plugged the Ko-fi in a while.
Not in a while.
This is the first.
I don't know if this is gonna give what I think it's gonna give. It does. Alright, so we have a Ko-fi. And I wanna see if I can make this easier to see. Maybe not. But basically, we have 3 monthly membership tiers where you get some stuff. This one is you get little extra doodles every week. And you get a Discord role where you get to join an exclusive Discord channel where I post more random content that only you guys get to see. At the Cook tier, you get a week early release of the comic. You get the raw scripts of the comic and, of course, also the doodles. And then lastly, at the 18+ one, you get the NSFW doodles, which again, they're like... they're actually twice a month usually. Twice to 3 times a month. They're like every other week. They vary in spicy significantly. Sometimes they're just a little smooch. But they're all implicit, not explicit.
And that do be the key difference, Watson.
Indeed. I have little, minus. Ooh, the trivia. But you can see...
Ooh.
Yeah, these are the sort of, like,
It'd be trivia
tiers.
time.
These are all old doodles, but, you know, you get some doodles. These are the old ones. I think it's really funny that I drew Sinnott and Hotson in very similar poses here. It's just very funny. Exactly, Grenade. There you go. All right, let's check out this Twivia. Oh God, no! Not. This is so brain. This is too much brain. I think that's that.
Let's see.
And then so I think if that one is Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Hold on, wait, is it further back than that?
Ay.
Shit, that's that one, so I think it's
Weren't
further
these,
back
like,
than that.
In the
So I think it's
future,
this
kinda,
one.
so... I am just
And then
guessing.
this one is there. I think I got it.
I don't think I got it, but...
Ah, so close.
Ooh, you got half right, Ori.
I'm glad
Nice.
you like it, Mason.
I wasn't
did
even
I get
close.
2 out of 3? Did I get 2 out of 3? Or just 1 out of 3? Aw, only 1. So sad.
Oof.
I'm curious what you wrote, Mars.
Well, I can DM you personally.
I saw it, I
Ori,
looked.
'cause, oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You could just check it.
You can just
Yeah, what am I doing? What
yeah.
am I doing your work for you? You
Yeah.
open it.
do all
you
my
click
work?
the spoiler.
No, do it for me.
No, I'm not going to do that.
So
I gotta plan my
rude.
next fan fiction. I haven't been doing that at all. I gotta think up some ideas.
Okay, Hotson, did
I gotta
I
catch up on Dungeon Meshi.
did I really stupid you here?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know.
What's the really stupid you think you did?
I don't know where the rest of his arm is, if it's like that.
I thought he was like maybe holding his hands to his chest,
He is,
but I didn't
like,
see a second hand.
yeah, exactly. So,
I wasn't quite sure.
yeah. Hey, I was on as tight of a deadline for you, basically, to try and line these, so.
Yeah, I think he may be needing a hand.
Yeah, we'll make it a cheapo hand, though. I know what happened.
give him a hand.
I had one idea for it, but it didn't work if I wanted the journal to be... I think I originally had him holding the journal, but then I wanted the journal to be on the desk over here, so he can't be holding it. So I think I just kind of drew it and was like, I'll deal with it later, and then never dealt with it later. So, yeah. I'll just retroactively make it a little bloop.
Well, look at that. It's the consequences of your own actions.
Hey, that's why it's nice to have to give it away and then take it back, because now I get to look at it again. And basically you trying to figure it out is a me like, oh, okay, I see what happened here.
Well, that was definitely one of those things where I was like, what is happening?
Yep,
I'm just going to do the best I can.
it's okay. There it is. Now he has a hand in there.
There we go.
And I have to add back
You ever
the eye
just wake up
shinies.
from a nightmare and go, "Ah," and clutch your chest?
Hotson does multiple times. fairly
yes,
frequently.
Grenade, a raw chicken cooking stream to turn it into cooked chicken. Very nice.
I have to go all VTuber, get gloves on. You can't see my hands. Breaks the immersion or something. I've thought about like I always debate sort of like sketchbook sketch streams or like doing sketchbook tours could be fun. I don't know. I've never really proposed that if anyone was interested or not, but those are also videos I thought about doing. The problem is, at least with like later sketchbooks, it does start being like I leaked my hand already. Yeah, I leak my hand a lot. I take pictures and my hand is there. And the ring. Yeah, I already forgot about that. The ring.
That's just kind of the consequence of having hands, you guys.
I do have hands. My hands are pretty. They have pretty sparkle nails, so you know what? Look at my hands.
I need a manicure before my graduation.
I have to send Mars Dylan's hand.
Yes, please! I'm dying to see what it looks like.
There you go.
Elbow reveal.
Elbow reveal. My elbows are not good. I have like I have a stim thing that makes my one elbow real not great.
Ori, that is so pretty.
Yeah, it's rose gold on the inside and it's real Damascus steel.
That's
I'm
amazing.
gonna be right back and grab water. Be right back. Mars, entertain!
Let's let Ori grab her drink. She desperately needs it. And I might need some more too. I'm almost done with my tea. So how shall I entertain thee? How do we all like the new writing channel in the Discord? We got a lot of writers in here. You guys have been asking some good questions about it. Top 5 letters? Okay, Grenade. I gotta go M, B, G, A, I think that's 4, and L. Those are my top 5. Hey, Diablo. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, just send you his hand chopped off. Hey, as like we said earlier, he needs a hand. I'm glad people are liking the writing channel. It's pretty cool. I like seeing what you guys come up with. You guys are a very creative bunch. It's also just interesting to see what story ideas other people have in mind, where they like to take their characters. Comics, stories, it's all super interesting. Okay, Grenade, the midnight brain is kicking in. I was trying to read that, and then I realized they were your top 5 letters.
No, I think they were your top 5 letters, Mars.
What's a mubgal?
Top 10 numbers?
Top 10 numbers. 8, 28, 17, 23, and I think I get one more. 56.
Hello, Diablo. What are my top 5 letters? I like C, E, B. That's 3.
Oh, single digits?
D.
Okay.
Well, then you get 0 through 9. There's no other options, Grenade.
Well, favorite single digit numbers. I'm gonna go
M.
8 to 7.
Top 10
9.
numbers, Mars. You literally can't have any ones not included.
Oh wait, I thought that said 5. I thought it was 5 again. My brain glitched. Grenade, you tricked me.
You really got Mars on that one, Grenade.
You know, I think the autopilot kicked in, where I was
It
like,
really did.
I did 5 letters before, now I have to do 5 numbers. This totally makes sense. But see, that's only 9 safe.
You have to
need
have
a 10th.
0. Yeah.
You need a 10th number. Are negatives off the table?
Oh, that is true.
You might be able to have
Technically-
negative numbers.
Technically.
They're still numbers. They can be included.
All right. We have done all the fixing, adding, changing, remembering how I draw things. Stuff.
Ah, look at that. The beautiful process of completing a comic.
Now I get to go and I get to figure out which entry these things are from and grab them and bring them into this one. So these are from... One of these is from the first one and the other one is from the Senate one. I think... Is it this one?
I'm gonna
It
place
is
my
this
bets. The super happy one where they're laughing together.
Right now I'm getting journal pages,
Ah.
as I need 2 journal pages. I might get a third because I did draw a Aster journal page, but we'll see. For 1. Comic. Whoops. Boop.
What do you mean, whoops?
My thing was different. Journal.
It's not allowed to be.
4. 1? No. That's not right. 3. That's right. This one.
That's a good way of thinking of it, Mason. I wish I had that trick when I was first learning about negative numbers.
I like that though. That's fun.
I really like that.
Yeah, 0 is the portal between the 2 worlds.
It does
like
look
that
like
a lot.
portal, though.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's not wrong.
There it is. Hello. Come here.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Where? What?
Yes,
Ah.
I did see save. You're really thinking it through. Oh.
Sketchy,
Look, guys, it's
sketchy.
invisible ink Hodson's writing with.
Get this. Where are you? Come here. Why are you... Okay.
We have the audacity to talk
weird.
about Midnight Brain. I'm so sorry, Grenade.
We don't get to midnight anymore, so Midnight Brain is just whenever we screw up and be weird.
Midnight Brain is whenever we fumble. Exactly.
Okay, how do I want...
Once upon a time, we did go to midnight, but then Mars had things to do during the day.
And Ori got a job!
And then Ori had things to do during the day. And Midnight Brain was no more.
Exactly. Well, no, Midnight Brain still very much exists, just not not at midnight.
Yeah, but it rolls off the tongue much better than 11 o'clock brain.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. Yeah, guys, since this is like the last one before hiatus, it has a bunch of like callbacks and stuff.
Like a true finale.
Exactly. Well, it's not a finale. It's not even a season finale. It's a mid-season hiatus.
It's a mid-season hiatus. We're ending the first core and going into second. I'm very hyped for Hades 2, Grenade. I'm seeing people playing it. I'm getting the fan art, and I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I know this game was out? I feel like nothing is advertised correctly anymore.
I know, right?
But I'm so friggin' excited. I friggin' love the first Hades. I still need to beat it, but I know all the plot beats. I know the, like, the whole story, basically. Very fun. Love the gameplay. I am hyped.
It's the second game after the first game, Hades, which is, I don't know, an RPG?
So,
I don't know how genres work.
No, it's definitely not an RPG.
I don't know how genres work.
It is, I would call it a hack and slash, Metroidvania? Is that the word I'm looking for?
That is a word that is used in a...
Because the dungeons do reset. Basically, roguelike. Thank you, Grenade.
Roguelike, yeah.
That got me there. Okay, yeah.
God, I hate... I feel like...
I'm like, Metroidvania, definitely not it.
I feel like all of the words that we use to describe genres of games have gotten so difficult to understand because they're all references to other games, right? But see, what's the difference, Grenade? Roguelike versus roguelite.
Roguelite is less intense than a true rogue-like game. Like, it's kind of easier on beginners, I suppose.
You disagree that it's confusing, Grenade?
Grenade got lit.
I feel like the
Grenade's
problem is
about to blow.
I'm just trying to think of, like, can you give me another thing that we consume that has genres or descriptors that are specifically named after very, you know, influential things of that? Like when you talk about books, movies, what movie categories are like named after other movies though? Like when you talk about a movie genre, you talk about action, you talk about drama, romance. Like, what's a movie genre that's named after an influential movie? Kafka? I've never heard of that. Is that, like, I don't hear that listed. I know about Kafka, right? But I never hear of someone, I've never had a book described to me or a movie described to me like something as Kafka-esque,
I've never
right?
heard anyone say Lord of the Rings-esque. I've always heard fantasy.
No, you have fantasy, and then you have the, like, Lord of the Rings defined what we know as fantasy, but you don't call it, like, Lord Light, right? You know, you don't call it High Rings or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't call it named after that. Are you just simple-minded? Yeah? I'm ready for Grenade, because Grenade does, like, movie stuff and everything, so I'm ready for Grenade's lore drop here.
To summarize, basically, you're going through these dungeons, you're trying to escape the underworld.
I see.
And you die a lot in the game, but it's essentially a reward, because you get sent back to the main area and you can spend more to increase your moveset, your armor, stuff like that. So you're kind of supposed to lose in a sense, but you make a little progress like each time you play. Like, you get better each go around, which is rewarding.
Okay, Grenade. I think my actual overall dislike for that genre thing is that it is literally one letter difference. So they sound so similar. You have to sit there, roguelite, right? Like you have to enunciate. Is it roguelike or is it roguelite? Because it's literally one letter difference. And I think that is more my main dislike for that naming of those two genres, because it's just like, it's like stalagmite versus stalactite, right? Like, it's just like they're so similar. that it's tough.
Yeah, you could not pay me to play a Souls-like. I would get so frustrated.
Is that a genre? Is Dark Souls that influential? Because I felt like that had it already had genres in itself. Like, I feel like that's the whole thing. Video games get so, a video game can get so popular that now it's suddenly like
Dark Souls.
Yes.
Summoned.
What?
Continue.
I was just saying that people were talking about that Souls-like is a genre of games. And I was asking if Dark Souls was so influential that it wasn't already having genres of its own, that other things now needed to be labeled as Souls-like.
Wait, what's the argument? Dark Souls is extremely influential.
Yes, but did it not already have genre tags of its own?
Did Dark Souls not have itself descriptors in the tags? Sure.
But now it is so different and on a world of its own that other games would instead refer to themselves as a new genre tag called Souls-like.
You could say that Souls-like is a shorthand for all the descriptors that makes Dark Souls, but it's actually a little bit extra. It's more than just the previous tags that Dark Souls had.
Okay. And then my other argument is just discussing that in other sort of media, we don't name genres based off very influential media. Like, within that, right? To my knowledge, video games is the only thing where we take, this game is a cornerstone of, advancements in the field of video games, and now we name it after that. So unless you know what that game is, you can't understand what the tag means. Because you don't do that in movies. You don't call something like Lord of the Rings While it may have defined the fantasy genre, fantasy is still its own thing that I can conceptually understand.
I disagree.
Okay.
Something can be Shakespearean in a way that it describes it differently. So any kind of play, even perhaps a story or a movie, it could be Shakespearean, and that by itself has a special meaning.
See, but I find it means nothing.
You don't think Shakespearean means something?
Just a way of talking, but he wrote romance, he wrote tragedies, he wrote comedies. That means nothing about what I'm going to read. It's more author-centric. To me, that is not something that I could like Shakespeare and hate half of his works, because I don't like comedies or something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't... Versus Souls-like technically does give you information about the game, but I have to know what the game is like in order for that tag to mean anything to me.
Made by Shyamalan. But you don't say it's Shyamalan-like.
I can't say his name.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Him.
Yeah.
Mr. Knight. I feel like he has a common trend in his movies where there's definitely hoop-de-loop-de as part of the formula.
Yes, the wild twist at the end is an M. Night Shyamalan take, yes. But I wouldn't
But when other movies have twists, we don't say, that's M. Night Shyamalan-like or Shyamalan-like.
I say that it had a twist. I wouldn't go up to you and say, this movie is an M. Night Shyamalan-esque movie. Right? I wouldn't say that.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah, it's hard to say. M. Night Shyamalan-esque movie.
Mr. Knight.
I wouldn't say it's a Mr. Knight-esque movie. A Mr. Knight-light movie.
I agree you wouldn't say that. Because he doesn't have a monopoly.
But if it were called a Nightlight genre, that would be
Dark Souls
fantastic.
does have a monopoly on a certain number of game elements.
But what makes it to me unaccessible is the fact is I have to be a person that understands
How to use Google, yes.
what Dark Souls is. No, it's so much more than that. I have to understand what Dark Souls is a lot, to my understanding.
You can just Google Souls-like and you'll see what it means.
But there's other tags for that, is what I'm saying. The only reason I know that Rogue was a game in the first place.
Actually, it's Soulsborne Ekiro Ring now,
oh my God.
My friend. Nice try.
But so I don't know. It's just like naming it after it gives it less descriptor to me than if it had all the tags it originally had. And then
Souls is kind of its own tag, though.
You have Souls, you have Rogue.
Roguelike is for sure a thing. Good night, Mason.
Good night, Mason. I also
Good
just
night,
specifically
Mason.
hate that the words like and light are one letter difference and mean very different things. That's just annoying for speech in general. That was all we were talking about. That's why Dark Souls came up, Mr. Master of Souls. And Sekiro and Borm.
And hence how you got summoned.
But that makes it worse, Grenade, that it's a gradient. Because the more similar they are, the more I could confuse them. Because I gotta tell you, Grenade, I fucking hate roguelikes, but roguelites are okay.
I never realized you got so heated over this topic.
This one gets me every time, and the soul, and I'm gonna tell you,
The soul?
Yeah, the soul. The sole reason is the fact that I do not like roguelikes. But I can enjoy roguelites. But I have never been gamer enough to understand and retain what they mean. Right? Because I'm playing, literally, it's called Delicious Dungeon. It is not Dungeon Meshi related, but you literally go into the woods and you kill monsters and you eat them. Okay? Because fuck yeah, it is a roguelite, where you go into the dungeon, which is the woods, and if you die, you get to keep all your stuff. Okay? I enjoy that. A roguelike... Again, I hate the fact that I really have to enunciate this in order to make sure we're on the same page. Things, right? And then you can mix and match them a little bit because you can have like horror, high fantasy, right? You can have like, you know, like comedic high fantasy. You can have like modern comedy, like this sort of thing. And you don't get that specific with it because the parts of the book that you like are broad, if that makes sense, right? I don't like horror, so no matter what setting the book is set in, I won't read horror. I do like high fantasy, so that means I might read a comedy high fantasy, a romance high fantasy, a tragedy high fantasy, whatever. I might read different ones in that place. But if all I ever read was Lord of the Rings like books, like, it's like, that's very specific, you know? It's very like the journey and the whole thing, like, it's very, very specific. And so when it's like...
really call Hades a slice of life game, Grenade? I don't know if I'd say that. Like, there are segments when you talk to the characters, but they're like NPC moments? I don't know if I'd call it slice of life.
The only thing, at least, and maybe I'm just not a buff enough in books or movies to get into the minutia genre as, like, video games are set up in the way of where when you, like, especially on Steam, you know, they have all these tags, right? That you just don't have that. But it feels like being sort of a layperson, right? That in order to understand a game that I might like to get, or what, I guess, okay. I've narrowed it down. I really like the game Overcooked.
It's taking you like a half hour to get your thoughts together.
That's how brains work, okay? It's all nearly 11.
That is true.
I really like the game Overcooked. It's great. I love it. Fantastic. Okay? Now, while I enjoy the cooking theme, that is not the main aspect of the game that makes me like that game. Okay? So, being able to look at the tags and suss out the parts of the tags that make the game that I like, but then being able to go out and pick it's specifically, I like 4-player mainly couch co-op, but co-op in general. But then I don't know, like, there's another level beyond that I can never particularly narrow down, but that's fine. And that leads to games like Moving Out and I love Diner Bros, but now let's get back to it. I was recommended because of this Plate Up, which, while very chaotic, I hated significantly more than any of these other options that I've had, because it's very different, and I can't describe how it's different. So I'm trying to be here, trying to suss out the tags, to be like, these are the tags that I like, and these are the tags that I don't like, but they all mean weird shit. And I'm like, I want to say I like roguelike games, but no, I don't. I like roguelite games, you know, and it's just a whole thing. So it's like, I'm trying to use the tags to my personal advantage, and I have to say, I have yet to successfully do that. No, Grenade, no. And the reason is because I do not want an Overcooked-like game. If that makes any sense, that's too similar.
Like I should go get some popcorn. This is entertaining.
It's too similar. I want variety in it. Moving Out, good option. I would not call it an Overcooked-like game, though. All it has in similar is 4-player couch co-op. But the game mechanics are incredibly different.
That they were. And I felt it when playing that game, because I played both.
I wouldn't even consider Diner Bros an Overcooked-like game. It's much more Diner Dash, which I wouldn't have said I enjoyed. So it's like, it's just like, you narrow it down in ways that I personally don't find useful. And I have found it very frustrating, because I'm not a gamer, and I'm bad at games.
Wow, I don't think you've had a rant like that in a long time.
The last time was Clavier. Ugh.
Yeah, no, literally.
Hate him.
What was that, like
Hate
a month
him.
ago?
Yeah, maybe. You could find it in Discord.
I'm sure I could, but I'm not gonna. Oh, man. Hiya, Nicole.
Hello,
Welcome,
Nicole.
welcome.
You just missed rant time.
You missed the biggest story rant.
All right. Nicole, I really hope your package comes. I'm gonna get the tracking number tomorrow. Because I had my mother mail it. And I will say, okay, different rant now. Different rant.
Get more popcorn, you guys.
Different rant. And I never realized this. You were summoned by the Clavier thing, Nicole. But no. I'm going into post offices now. Yeah, exactly. Very easy to find when that happens in highlights. I've realized, I personally never had an issue. No, I'm not Grenade, and that's why it sucks. Yes, but no.
Clavier is the name of a character we will meet in later Ace Attorney games.
In Apollo Justice.
It's actually Clavier.
Yeah, it's actually Clavier, and I really, 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 really wanted it to be Javier, and it's upsetting. Okay, moving back to post offices. I always thought the post office was fine. And, like I never had a problem with it. I always thought that the people at the post office were, very helpful with, how to mail things, and everything like that. And then I never had an issue. And I was always baffled by Dylan hates the post office. He doesn't want to go and he doesn't want to do. And now, technically, he would have probably used a different post office than the one that was close to my house. While we live in a relatively dense town, so his closer post office was not the one that was closer to me. And I just thought that he was just kind of, he just didn't want to deal with it, right? I mean, I understand who wants to deal with everything, but I always thought it was very nice. And I tried to mail all the posters for Outcast that we had for the Outcast anniversary in January. And 2 of them didn't make it. And now one of them I think is a Porch Pirate's fault, but the other one I think has to do with the post office.
Very fitting for Outcast now that I think about it.
Yeah, really, right? I hope they turned into a fan,
Yes,
but
if they eventually got drawn to the comic, it'll all have been for something.
At least it'll have been worth it. But I tried to go to this post office, which is, I live somewhere else now than my childhood home. My parents still live in my childhood home. And I tried to do this post office, and I tried to do exactly what I would have done at my childhood post office. And the first guy is like, oh, you're shipping international? You need customs slips. And it's like, okay. So I fill out these custom slips, and then I go to the other then I have to get out of line, fill out these custom slips. I go to the other window now because that's who was open when I got back online, and it was my turn again. And she's like, why did you fill these out? You don't need these. And I was like, because he told me to. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And then obviously the one that had to get shipped overseas has gotten lost because it has been months, and I can't imagine it being that long to get there, okay? If it shows up, Nicole, I'll be happy, Lucky you. But it's just like, damn, I don't know what happened. So I decide, okay, it's better if I leave it with my mom, all the stuff, and I say, hey, Mom, can you mail it for me at my childhood post office? She's telling me about her experience at my childhood post office today on the phone, because she says she's mailed it today. And she's like, oh yeah, they were really nice, and they found this one slip, and and it was this much to ship, and then it was just this much for tracking, and they were so nice, and they talked about the options, and I was like, I miss my post office. I miss it.
As
So
someone
sad.
who still uses that post office, it is a very good post office.
They actually care, okay? I understand that in,
They
like,
do.
especially government jobs, you don't want to be
why,
there.
but they actually give a shit.
I
Which
understand
is
not wanting to be
impressive.
there, but it's your job. And this is like a big service, the post office, right? Like, this is a necessary, needed service. You should at least be competent and a little caring, okay? Like, just a little bit of, like, yes, let me tell you how to do it. Because I gotta tell you, website fucking does shit, okay? I would've tried. You know, like, oh my god. So annoying.
Poor Ori.
Basically, it's I will never mail, from this post office ever again. I will leave it with my parents.
Yeah, no. That is the safest thing to do.
I also learned that this is like the smaller post office, which is within walking distance of my current address. But the other one, while not far, just has no parking. So it's just like, oh my god. Why do you make it so difficult?
The most sucky thing I've ever heard.
It's terrible.
F in the chat.
It's
Ori,
not
guys.
your fault at all, Nicole. I am solely upset with specifically my personal local post office. And that is literally it. Because I'm going to tell you, Nicole, if it doesn't get here, one, I'm 99% sure it'll get here this time. And two, if it doesn't, I will be incredibly surprised. And when it does, I will literally just be confirmed that, yeah, it's just this fucking post office fucking sucks. And I will never, and you know what? You live, you learn. And, we'll never deal with it again. So it'll be fine. I want you to get it, Nicole. I really do.
We want you to have it.
I
We
want
want
you to
you to
have
have
it.
this poster. Oh, freaking
So.
post office.
I'm mad at solely the post office. They're the annoyance here.
I have not had an experience with a post office like that. All of the post offices I have had to use typically have done what they needed to do. Like even the one at my college did what it needed to do. I was very grateful for that because I was sending a birthday present that weekend.
I once mailed something, a package, a full-on package from England. And they were more helpful about what I had to do.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Uh-huh.
Good luck studying safe.
Yes, good luck. You won't be
We
staying on
want
too
you
much
to
longer.
have it on your wall, Nicole.
Yes, and I want you to have
It'll
all the little
come.
goodies. I'm sorry you won't
Yes.
get the first batch of goodies, but I tried to make the second batch of goodies still special.
So many goodies.
I sent Mars them. You got very special goodies no one else would have gotten.
Yes. See, guys, sometimes there are perks in your package not arriving.
No, don't say that. No. Bad, Mars, bad. Never.
No,
Never.
absolutely not.
God. Mason already said body pillow, and that's already, we're like, I don't know.
We'll see. But absolutely not to that one.
Yes.
Guys, I have way too much merch coming in these next few months.
Yeah. I'm
I bought
waiting.
way too damn much.
I'm literally, all the Leo shit is gonna drop, and I'm just gonna have like 80 billion packages.
Or he's going to be drowning in Leo's merch.
I'm so ready to be that Gojo reel I sent you. I'm so ready. There's still not enough though. Why are there so many, Marcel? Marcel, you're great, but give me Leos, please. Ugh. Pain.
We will get the boy, because eventually, this is what happened with Freerun. This is exactly what happened with Freerun. Her pop-up, the main fucking character, did not come out until the series ended.
You know what?
And concluded.
That better be what fucking happens. Because I'm gonna be so
I think that's
upset.
the trend.
You know what?
Fern got
Fine.
her pop-up before Freerun did.
Fine. If that's what has to happen, fine. But I need him. I need him really bad.
People are very much falling in love with him. Like,
so good.
The biggest one I see is people being like, yeah, autism rep, let's go.
I mean, one, yes.
Like,
but
yes.
two, just my boy.
He's just so good.
No, he's
apparently people are really shipping him with Kabru after that last episode. I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know what Trigger did.
I feel like it's one of those things that it's like, that was always going to be the thing because they're the foils. At least I call them the foils. Dylan disagrees that they're foils. I think they're foils.
I think they're foils because you have Laios obsessed with monsters, whereas you literally
and specifically
have Kabru
bad
in his
with people.
Introduction going, I'm obsessed with people, but I hate monsters.
But I'm bad with monsters. I literally don't know how to kill them. Right? And it's like, Jesus.
It's like, good dichotomy.
Nicole! I don't think mine comes till next month.
Oh.
Maybe it comes out early.
I'm gonna have to wait.
I'll check. Oh. Go back home.
I need.
That wasn't it. It's not until July!
Plot. We're talking about releases, Pastry Puff. It is safe.
Yeah, we weren't talking about the plot at all. We literally just named a character, but it should be fine.
Yeah. Thank you kindly, Nicole. It's the last one. We gotta go in blind to make sure all our favorite characters get out okay.
Indeed. Guys, I applied to a Dungeon Meshi zine! And I'm finally saying zine instead of zine!
I'm still saying zine.
I have made an effort, but I say zine in my head.
I know it's short for magazine.
I say zine in my head.
Zine.
I say zine in my head, and then I say zine out loud with, like, great effort.
Okay, well, at least it works out for you. They're looking for writers. I was kind of considering. I just need an idea.
You want to hear my idea? My idea is very ambitious. Okay, no, this would be Pastry Puff spoilers.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so Pastry Puff. Oh no, I'll tell chat. Pastry Puff, close your ears again. This is a spoiler moment. Go in blind. I'll tell you when it's back. So, chat when your ears are closed. I don't wanna spoil. Anybody else who also doesn't want spoils, this is spoils.
Yes,
for,
this is your warning.
It is in the anime though, so it's not past where the anime is. But this was my idea. I really want to make sure Pastry Puff isn't spoiled here.
This is an important one.
This one's an important one. Alright, I'm gonna go. It's been long enough. Oh, no, they were typing.
Oh.
Okay, good. Still deafened. Great.
Alright, good.
Perfect. So, my plan was to have so basically the whole theme is like eating together, right? Like, you know, like friends, family, you know, communal, sort of having a good time. And so the basis is for your piece has to be 3 or more characters, you know, Dungeon Meshi characters, like eating together. And so it's like, okay, how do I want this? And honestly, my favorite vibe is Kabru being disgusted at how Leos is. Because I love him so. I love Leos just being a happy boy about all the monsters and eating everything. And Copper just sitting there being like, I have to be polite, but he is a weirdo. And what would be better than Leos feeding Chimera Fallon and Copper just being like, I was invited to dinner with these people, but I am very not comfortable here. And possibly, like, Leos's other party members and stuff also having very various sort of reactions to what's going on. But very much just like, she's totally Chimera Fallon, but Leo's feeding her like, like a little sister, right? Maybe she has like a bit, just very like, oh, but why? They're just having a great time and it tastes good. But Copper's like, I can't leave until the meal is over, but I don't want to be here anymore.
Monster, and she's a monster. I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So it's just a fun dynamic. Yeah, exactly. Very Hotzen, as you could tell. So that's it. All right, I'm gonna tell Pastry Puff, no spoilers.
'Tis safe.
No more dungeon meshy talk. All right, beautiful. So yeah, this will be my first zine if I get it, and be fun. Side, also cool things happening. Yeah, grenade. No jokes.
Oh, grenade. Stir in the pot. Stir in the pot.
I don't even know because I don't even have the last volume yet. So I can't even spoil the ending. But in 1 month? Is it June? I think it's June. Is Art Fight June? Or is it July?
I thought it was July.
Now I have to check. Art Fight. Oh, heck. This is after the server collapse. I have to go back to the original. It is July, so 2 months out to Art Fight. I'm very excited to do it again. I had so much fun last year. Making pretty, like, simple stuff. Just sort of the base headshots and stuff. But it's very exciting.
Hey, Ori, can you remind me, did Kabu and Senshi ever fully talk?
Hold on.
In the manga?
No more spoilers. Pastry Puff doesn't want to know anything.
Crap. I'm sorry, I forgot you opened their ears.
I opened their ears, so shush. Close your mouth. No grenade, and I never will be. I'm done. There's too much. What is... I don't even know what I'm doing. I need journal... I think it's entry 1?
I feel like the boys was dropped a long time ago.
Boys was dropped a long time ago. It just ended up being too much, and it just kept going on and on. Like, I don't... It's too much.
Are you caught up on Invincible?
No. Dylan and I barely managed to watch shows, so... C'est la best.
C'est la best indeed.
The only reason I have any caught up anime is solely because I can watch it during work. Alright, let me see the D&D thing.
Yes, Grenade was looking for mechanics advice. I couldn't offer very much because I'm not well versed in that, but you might be. I'm very glad you were tuned out, Pastry Puff. That's a relief to me.
Yes, well, you know Senshi because you read the first book, so he exists. Again, I'm sorry, where did you put it? In couch. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Sacrifice, the city. NPCs. Blah, 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 blah. Ah. That's a good sound. The you came, you called. That's very Outcast shit.
So soft too. I absolutely love it.
I will say it's a very delicate sort of thing where definitely you have to make sure that the player is on board in the sense of like that they're not going to like cheese it, right? That's like my first thing, because even if you're not intentionally cheesing it, sometimes you won't do the most evil thing, right? Or the most like a important thing or something. Or you'll focus in different places. So I would definitely it's a very specific person. Now, it's not that I don't trust Mars or think Mars would metagame, but I don't think I'd have Mars do something like that, where I know Dylan would be brutal to everybody equally, including his own character. You know, so there's a difference. I wouldn't want to be trusted with that because I would pull my punches, right? You know, I would favor in one way or the other. It's just sort of how people work sometimes. So that's honestly my biggest thing. I think something that could be interesting, Grenade, in sort of without necessarily giving the player specific control, is you set it up where there is something maybe triggered by how the current player character acts, right? That could trigger something in the boss, right? So they're kind of controlling it, but not really. That could be a thing. I wouldn't give them just 2 turns. It's just a lot to think about. Not everybody can think about 2 characters. Even as being a DM, the more characters you have to play, the harder it is. So it is just, I feel like it would get clunky very, very fast is my biggest concern with something like that. I think it's a cool narrative thing, but I think it just gets clunky very, very quickly. I honestly think it would. I think, in my personal opinion, while it's a cool idea and concept, I think the whole situation would be a lot more fun for everyone if the DM just plays the character. The now NPC character, the old character. Because as long as the DM feels, and I think it's you, right? As long as you feel like you have, a good grasp on that character's vibe, right? Which, as a DM, you usually do from watching how they play. I think it would be very narratively enjoyable still, anyway. And then it's just not clunky. They can really focus on having to take down their character, and that's more of just a personal internal struggle. I don't know if the current character and the NPC, the old character, have any relation within the story, but it's still fun for the player, and I think it's more fun for the player in being that this is its own entity now, right? You playing it instead of them is oh, this character has grown and moved on from what I had done, right? They lived their life continuing. Dylan's kind of done that one of our player characters, yeah, exactly, it's part of the world. One of our player characters, from a campaign that he DM'd before, was basically like, really wanted to become a demon lord, basically, and like, you know, be very powerful and stuff, and he is literally a lich. I think it's a lich in our current campaign, but he's solely played by Dylan and not the original player at all, and it's like, because he's part of the world now, right? So, I think that's just an important sort of distinction overall. It's definitely it's one of those things where just the nature of how D&D is played, cool in concept, bad in practice, right?
See, this is why we definitely need to talk to Ori, because I don't know enough about the DM side of things to really understand how this would work in practice. I just have well, I've seen Ori use a familiar before. I think it could work like that, but it does sound like a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Also, pastry puff, that is the most realistic thing ever. That is the most real thing I've ever read. Well, because it was a cool concept grenade, and I could see a lot of story potential coming from it. And
no, it's very cool.
What's nice about it, you still have all that story potential. So you haven't lost anything. It's still all there.
I think...
But no, I was definitely playing by rule of cool for that one.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but rule of cool only works where it's still not clunky enough to be difficult, right? If that makes sense. You know, it's already a lot to play, you know, one character and maybe have summons and stuff, but now you suddenly have to learn on the fly how to play a second character. You have to make sure that you aren't favoring anything one way or the other. I think for a situation like this grenade, yes. For out-of-combat stuff, where the character themselves is specifically very similar to what the original character was, I think it's fine to be like half PCs, but I think for an all-out, like, this is actually a confrontation, I think it's just hard for, one, most people to separate, and two, just to sort of have two full, like, player character stat blocks. Like, playing a player character is very much more complex than, like, a monster in something, so I think it would just make everything a little more streamlined.
Ori was dancing, Pastry Puff. It was the teacup dance. Fill my cup.
I don't even know what I was doing.
Apparently, your avatar was just like moving her teacup up and down super fast.
Interesting.
Something happened to make
my
it do
teacup
that.
dance. Yeah, maybe I was moving around. Who knows? This is the old Limerana sketch, but I refuse to try and actually draw it better. Even though I did, in the remaster, originally draw it better. Like the actual one.
You know, it is Hotzen's drawing.
Hotzen's
so...
better at drawing plants than animals, canonically. We're done.
Yeah.
That's
he's
it.
a plant guy.
And people. But people are different than animals. It's all a different vibe. He draws
Yes.
Aster
Pastry
pretty well.
Puff. I will be making lore for our avatars.
Yes.
Our PNG tubers will have some stories behind them.
Just like all them big, cool VTubers.
Yes. And I definitely need to start working on that a bit more frequently. I've been working on it in bouts, but now we're coming close, so I gotta
Well, now the comic's also in hiatus for Mars's stuff, just doing script stuff,
Yes.
so she can focus on a
So
lot more script stuff.
All of the writing is happening. All of
Ori,
the
Mars, and Dylan.
Yeah.
We actually
Dylan
just
gets some lore too.
we just
He's
had
part
a
of this.
bunch of sort of I literally updated our we had like so Mars and I have a Discord server for just us two where we talk about comic stuff and stream stuff and everything, and so we do have like a list. We had like a running list of like what we want to do for Streamiversary and milestones and stuff, and I literally like just updated it yesterday with like all these ideas and stuff, and these ideas aren't feasible anymore, or you know, things like that. So it'll be interesting. Did you get a chance to look at it, Mars?
I thought I did, but maybe not.
I don't know. We ended up talking about something else, so I don't know if
Yeah.
we ended up looking at it or not.
We ended up talking about a lot of stuff.
Yep, exactly, Pastry Puff. That's exactly what happened. I asked Dylan, and I was like, Dylan, hey, like, you know, it's a fairly common thing for VTubers to have, like, lore surrounding their models, that it's, like, you know, a character. It's not just, you know, them. And that's, like, a common thing, or at least basically, like, how you got here. And, like, the theme around your model. And so we were like, ooh, Mars is gonna write some lore. And I was like, how do you feel about that, Dylan? And he's like, yeah, but I want to write my own lore. And I was like, oh, okay. And he hadn't really, you know, thought about anything very much. And Mars, like, I, like, told her that in, like, Discord. And she, like, sent me back, like, oh, you know, I totally get, you know, wanting to, you know, being a writer, wanting to write your own thing. Because Dylan likes writing stories, you know, he DMs and stuff. But this is the kind of the idea that I had, and Dylan happened to be there and like looking over my shoulder and like read it, and he's like, okay, Mars can write my lore. So you know it's gonna be good.
Which is such a huge honor.
Will there be
give
angst?
our PNG tubers angst? Guys. How little faith do you have in me? Or should I say, how much faith do you have in me?
Alright.
It's gonna be very fun. Maybe there'll be an existential crisis for some of us in the lore, but it gets resolved very quickly.
But it'll be very fun. I will say, guys, so our first Streamiversary was, you know, pretty low-key. We weren't that big of a channel, you know, we didn't have that much streaming experience. I'm gonna say, the plans right now for second Streamiversary are pretty freaking great. Right? The Lee Morana's feet webbed because is a frog. So his front hands are not webbed, but his back legs, which are more frog legs, are webbed. It's so he can swim. He's better at swimming.
He's a little froggy.
He's a tree froggy. But yeah. But alright, I think with that, is it a mammal or an amphibian? It's a mammal.
The mammal traits outweigh the amphibian traits.
His skin is more leathery than how like a frog's skin is. He can't exchange gas between his frog-like legs and stuff and the water. But he can still have webbed toes. And thus he does.
And they're pretty handy for him. I mean, look how he got that fruit in entry number 2.
Exactly.
Did
But
pretty good.
I picture him diving from the trees and swimming, so he's like a fishy, fruity eater. Because he's a primate, so some extra protein in that diet is good for him. Alright, guys. We shall wrap up here. thank you all for joining stream.
It's been a very fun chat and chill.
Of course, it has been a very fun comic and chill. We always like Ori rants. We always rant about stuff, and I learned a lot. Maybe I'll retain roguelike versus roguelite this time. We'll check back.
Don't worry, guys. I'll make sure she does.
And we'll see. Thank you all to our lovely YouTube channel members. You guys helped out a lot. Any VOD watchers? You guys too, and of course everybody in chat tonight. Thanks for hanging out, stopping in, lurking, doing whatever. Grenade, always happy to see you when you can stop by. Pastry Puff, Nicole, I don't know if you went off lunch.
To spend your evening, your day, your morning this way.
Whatever time it is with you. But thank you very much for coming, and we hope to see you guys all on Thursday for we're designing the last part of our player characters for our current campaign. It's Mars's familiar, and she's not gonna be here, so it'll be a surprise to her at the end.
I have a party to go to that night for graduation, so I won't be present, but I trust y'all to not lead Ori astray.
Yes. It'll be very fun. Little cutie, little cute guy.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you Thursday. Good night.
I'll see you guys Friday. Bye-bye, everyone.